Okay, turn the microphone. Yeah, the levels haven't been bad on that recently. I don't know what it was that one other time where it just like jumped all the way up to red levels where it like yells at you on OBS because it's like, no, you're being too loud. Like you can spike up just a little bit, but if you go too far, the whole bar of volume just turns red and it's like, no, stop that. It's too loud. But it hasn't spiked up recently, so that's good. And I haven't had an excuse to have it spike up either because I've always like had time before the stream now to set up the stand so that I don't have to adjust it mid-recording. I've been trying to make sure, especially since my schedule is going to start to get a whole lot more rigid over the next few days when I start going back to school stuff, that I make sure that I do everything more scheduled as well, like so that way it's not like I'm running behind for anything, you know. So it has worked out pretty nicely. One thing that has not worked out though is the fact that I still leave my water bottle halfway across the room from me. That's not true. It's only on the other side of the couch, but it still means I have to like lean over the microphone like this, orbit the microphone like I'm revolving around the sun in order to get to the water bottle. And then last time there, I got it, but then I was just adjusting, make sure I'm good to go. It's not much fun when you have a shirt on that's a little bit, this is a custom fit. I'm not usually a big fan of custom fit shirts because they're a little more form fitting, and I'm not a young man, so that's not really that's not really something that I think is that impressive, especially considering I'm relatively lean rather than muscular. I guess that wouldn't be the right word. No, I don't think gaunt is the right word either, because lean still implies that you have muscle. I mean, I have some muscle, obviously, but not like a ton. But not muscular. So normally you don't wear form-fitting shirts if you're not muscular because it just shows off that you're a stick. So, but yeah, so like if you wear a shirt like this and you sit on it, you know what I mean? Like where the tail of the shirt, like you sit on it. And then if you have to adjust at any point, the shirt like pulls on you and it's like, okay, no, I don't need that. I don't want to adjust and then accidentally rip this. It's a good shirt. I like it, but it's not normally my forte. Works pretty well, though, when I've got jackets and stuff on, so like when I'm going outside. Because the more form-fitting nature of it, the more form-fitting nature of it actually causes the heat to stay in my body a little longer. Which is nice, especially considering the fact that on the last 10 days, we've gotten like 9 days worth of snow. It's like snowed at least like to the point of accumulation for 9 out of the last 10 days, and we've probably gotten over a foot. No, definitely over a foot. We're probably closer to 2 feet of snow by now. Well, maybe not, because that would imply about 2 to 3 inches a day. I don't know if it fell that hard, but we've gotten at least 18 inches of snow in the last 9 days, so that's fun. Meanwhile, in the, I would imagine, much more temperate climate of, or I guess temperate still implies that there could be, would it snow in this part of Pulse? I feel like if it would, the open part of the steppe would be like incredibly harsh because there's just nothing to block the wind and the snow, so like the visibility would have to be garbage, right? Because there's just nothing to block it. So how would... I gotta imagine the Ortoises would have a hard time if there was like 4 seasons here. Then again, we never get to see 4 seasons because, well, we're not here for long enough. It'd be interesting to see how the ecology evolves for the winter, though. I was gonna say, what do you think, big guy? But the Ortoise that's normally around here appears to have migrated somewhere else all the way over there. Well, I'll ask him later. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII, the stream edition Last time we continued our travels on Grand Pulse. We finally got back out to the Archaealt Steppe. And today I'm pretty sure we're going to finish off all of our business here, at least for now. There are some other missions that'll take us back here once we beat the actual chapter itself. As far as I know, they don't unlock until you've beaten mission 28, which is in the last area that you go to, which is Erba. But we were in the process of doing mission 14, Defender of the Flock, so we're going to go and do that bad boy up. And go see some old friends from, well, at least one old friend from an old series and all of his friends in this particular universe. Or dimension, I guess. Off to the moon. It's a good start. And also today we're going to be taking care of the lopsidedness of my accessories a little bit more, because it won't be like Lightning and Fang or missing anything anymore. So this one really has it out for me. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like the biggest trouble that you can run into in a place like this is the enemies all ganging up on one person because they're considered the weak link, and since the enemies know that I'm the player controlling the character, like, if I die, the party dies, so I suppose it all makes sense when you look at it in that context, doesn't it? Kill or be killed out here, Jack. I'm getting a phone call. Hold the phone. No, I'll hold the phone. Excuse me a moment. Am I back? Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think I've mentioned it previously, but my family doesn't look at my stream schedule, even though it's available on 3 platforms, and so sometimes they just call me out of the blue, and I don't know, it might be important, so I want to make sure it's not like something happening that I need to know about, you know? So sometimes it just happens where they call me, and then I can't rocket all the Gorgonopsids to the moon as easily as I could if they looked at my schedule at all. But I don't know, maybe I'll... We're all going to be living in the same house again pretty soon, so maybe I'll have like a system where I like, I don't know, I'll get a dry erase board or something, and I'll be like, here's the schedule for this week, and I'll post it in a 4th place so that it's on a wall or on the fridge or something, so they can just see it, and then be like, oh, right. But, I don't know, it's been weird with the family lately, though, because, like, a lot of them have been, all of a sudden, they're just being active at, like, 7 o'clock at night, and it's like, what have you guys been doing all day that all of a sudden now, 7 o'clock at night, you're deciding, okay, we gotta move stuff in the middle of the night in the driving snow. Like, what the fuck? Like, could you do that? Like, I understand, you know, some of you work, but, like, could you do that during daylight hours, please? I don't get it. I don't entirely understand. It just, it's beyond me. Then again, I've been getting up earlier, so maybe that's why it's beyond me. Like, I'm up now because I have to go to school at, like, I have to leave at 8 o'clock on every, excuse me, every Tuesday and Thursday. Ooh, that was a bad one. Acid reflux a little bit. Excuse me. Yeah, I have to leave for school Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock, and I don't get home till 6:30, so end up getting up earlier and earlier to make sure that I can account for that. So I suppose I'm a little biased in that department. Sorry. Well, we're practically at the Font of Namva now, so since we're practically there, there's the save point for the font itself, and there's our mark. Let's prep our party for a special occasion. Because this is one, you can't get a preemptive strike on this one. But I don't think we'll need it particularly. I don't think we'll need that either, to be honest, but basically what I want to do for this is I want to start in this and give Saz certain buffs so that basically Vanille and Fang, because the enemies that we're about to fight for the mark are susceptible to, I think, every single status ailment they have access to. So I kind of just want them to like run ripshod through the entire enemy group with status ailments so that I can summon and actually get Brunhilde a kill this time so that we can, you know, have that be a thing. But we'll see if that actually works out. I need the General's belts. I didn't sell the Royal armlets that I got, so I'm going to go do that at some point here as well. Alright, so take this off of you. You're good. And, well, I really only need them to do, I really only need them to do their status ailments, so I really don't need them to have anything in particular in terms of the buffs. Like, I could give them buffs, but, like, I don't think they need anything in particular to be effective here, so it's mostly just a matter of getting the correct buffs on Saz to make him effective in this particular jaunt, this particular venture. I hope this works out. I think what I might do, though, is just to be safe, I might stick a Sin Sen Sab in here as well, just in case they, like, really start to grind my gears here, because the enemies that we are about to fight will, like, repeatedly attack you over and over and over again. They have, like, a big combo when they do their attacks, so it might become a problem. We'll see if it does or if it doesn't. First, though, we have to watch the best cutscene in this game. Genuinely, it's probably my favorite cutscene in the whole game. It's not only silly, but it also adds to certain things in the story.
Wait, I know that smell.
And considering it starts off with that, I could understand if you're a little skeptical, but it is, genuinely. Just keep watching.
Hey, you!
Kwehnfucius? The Kwehnfucians! I always get a kick out of the one that just jumps right in front of all his friends and just works at you so loud he shakes the screen.
What we got here? New friends, huh?
They're a little bigger than you, but maybe it's a pulse cocoon chocobo thing. The biology's a little different. You're more of a cartoon character than they are.
You keep growing like that, you'll be bigger than me before long, won't you?
And he'll have made some pretty good friends.
Maybe it'd be best to just say goodbye here.
Saz, I think that's the wrong thing to say. I like how the camera just doom, doom, doom. Like there's just 3 jackknifed camera angles right in a row.
Jeez, come on, I was just kidding.
Don't even kid about something like that, man. Come on. You know better than that.
Yeah, I know. You're sticking with me till Dodge wakes up. Could be a long wait. No one knows.
How does that work with a chicobo or a chocobo if they get turned to crystal? Like, is that even possible? Oh, hi, Fang. How long have you been there?
Hey, what would... Oh, what, you watching me or something? Say something. Or something.
Didn't want to interrupt. And, you know, I didn't quite know where to begin.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
You don't have to begin anywhere.
Oh, that's what she meant. Okay.
Wasn't your fault.
Thought she was like, but you're turning into a cartoon character, Saz.
Weight in your shoulders already. It was my fault at your day, letting Dodge out of my sight like that. That one's on me.
And you're just gonna deal with that on your own. Is that it?
Well.
I don't have to. I got this guy. And you? You got Vanille. You weren't alone. That kept you going, didn't it?
Something to think about there, Fang.
Listen to me, trying to act all parenty.
Well, don't give up. You're getting the hang of it. Really?
Right, like you would know. I mean, honestly, she might. She is older than Vanille. She probably had to basically behave as her older sister for the entirety of their lives, so... But I like the scene not only because of the silly chocobo stuff, but also because of the fact that it helps Fang kind of be like, huh, this is a new perspective on Vanille and I and how we've been interacting, and I've always... It strikes me that Fang kind of has that moment of, like, pondering, where she's like, you know, I've felt like something hasn't been right with Vanille lately. Maybe I should ask her about it, which is why I wanted to get this cutscene before we go to Mahabara, which is the next area we're going to, because they hash it all out there, and if you don't get this cutscene before you go, it's like, what brought this on? This gives it an actual reason to have happened, so I don't know, I feel like it makes the most sense to have it happen here. Alright, anyway, our mark is straight ahead, but I don't even think you can walk over to the save point. I think if you walk too far in here, like, it just immediately, throws you right into the fight, so... Which, fair play, the chocobo's about to be eaten alive by wild frogs, and whatever the hell that's supposed to be.
Hurry the what up?
Chocobo language!
Jeez, someone's had their feathers ruffled.
There are children watching this stream. It's me, I'm the child. Alright. So, haste and vigilance for Saz. Then, faith and fire for Saz. And then we summon. Alright, Brunhilde, let's actually do this time. I promise I'll try to get a Muspel flame kill. I won't go so crazy with the caltrops this time. I swear. What do you mean you don't believe me?
There you are. About time you showed up.
Sorry, I just get a kick out of the pose that they do there. Alright, anyway, Relentless Assault time. And I'm going to throw some Fyras at these groups. It looks like Fang and Vanille have gotten a little bit of something going in terms of status ailments, so that's cool, I guess. I just want to basically use this time to boost the Gestalt gauge so that way it's at maximum. We should be able to kill them without too much trouble with the Gestalt, if we do it correctly, I think. I did this earlier today once as a test to see if I could actually get a kill with Brunhilde, and it worked, so everything here is weak to fire. That's why I said, no, we should be able to do it. So. Here we go! Alright, now I will throw the caltrops down now. Probably want to, like, do a little bit of, like, residual on everything, though, if possible. Definitely want to do a little bit on this one. Can I do a centrifugal sweep and maybe get a little bit? Well, the bullets might do a little bit of something, but... maybe get a little extra on the Ceratosaur here. And then build all the way down to 1. This one might live, but let's find out. Give it to him! Never mind, it's staggered. We're probably okay. Nope, still alive. Sorry, Brunhilde, but shouldn't take too long to finish it off, yeah. I need to do a little more damage to it, but still 5-star. Got the Gestalt off, so I'll take it. Mission compris. And for finishing Defender of the Flock, you get the key item, the Gisal Reins, and we earn the title Feathered Friend. It's very important to get the Gisal Reins, though.
2 minutes later and you'd have been plucked.
We wouldn't want that now, would we? And for rescuing this chocobo, we've gained the eternal gratitude of all of Grand Pulse's chocobos for the rest of our lives. I mean, to be fair, our lives are probably pretty short at the moment, but it's a nice gesture nonetheless. Chocobos. So yes, we've unlocked chocobo travel now. These majestic yellow birds allow you to cover a greater distance than you could on foot in only a fraction of the time. There are also locations that only chocobos can reach, indicated by swirling yellow indicators on the ground. Indicated by indicators? Thanks, game, that's real helpful. But yeah, those launch pads that I've been talking about on the different parts of the step previously, those are chocobo pads, so only chocobos can make the jumps in between those pads. So if you have a chocobo and you're on the chocobo, you can actually make the jumps. If not, you can't. But you can mount the chocobo, and there are a multiple number of chocobos that are now available on the step itself. Just walk up to it, press X, interact with it, and there you go. Chocobos have a morale meter instead of an HP meter when they're wandering around. They have 3 morale, and if you run into an enemy while you're riding on the chocobo, they will lose 1 unit of morale. If they lose all of their morale, they will run away. But if you don't get hit for a little while, they'll get back the morale pretty slowly over time. They'll regenerate it. That being said, if they run into any of the Ortoises, because it's kind of hard to accidentally run into a giant turtle dinosaur, they will lose all of their morale instantly and throw you and run, so don't run into those. As for the real reason why we wanted to unlock chocobo travel, because I can walk everywhere on the steppe, I don't mind. This is the real reason, because chocobos have a knack for detecting buried treasure. Every time you spawn in on the Archeolt steppe from now on, every time you boot your save file, every time you leave and come back, 5 out of 20 treasure spots will spawn treasure. And while you're riding on the chocobo, they will have a little exclamation point pop up over their head when they're near a treasure. If you get closer, it will bounce more and more, and when you're on top of it, you can dig up the treasure and get some pretty premium items. There's some like catalysts for transformation of items, accessories, and weapons. There's just stuff that sells for a decent chunk of gil. There are guaranteed rewards that you can get up to 20 digs out of. So, but again, you only get 5 at a time. So if you want to do more than 5 at a time, you have to save your game and then quit out and reload your save file. So basically almost like soft resetting, but not soft resetting. You just quit to the title screen, load your save file, and then there's 5 more treasures to find. Now that being said...
Want some Gazal greens, huh?
Excuse me.
Hello there.
I love the little cue. Hello there. Like she's ready. She's absolutely ready to pet it. But Saz, you saved the chocobos, so you get first dibs. Now, I'm going to wait on the chocobos when I ride them because they all have idle animations with each of the characters. Some of them are more interesting than others, but an animator took time out of their day to actually make these idle animations, and damn it, if I'm not going to show it, then I feel like I haven't done them some service. In Saz's case, when he's idle on the chocobo starts preening its feathers, and Saz helps it by, I guess, preening the other side with his fingers. So that's cool. But yeah, there's little interactions with each of the characters on the chocobos. Again, some of them are more interesting than others, but We'll see what we can do. We'll come back to the Font of Namva. There's a couple of other treasures that are there. Actually, I think it might just be one more treasure, but we'll come back to it in a little while. There's another mission there that takes place there in a little bit. By the way, when you're running through narrow passages like this with the Chocobo, it sometimes may feel like you're getting sucked into a gravitational hole or something because the Chocobo just like slows down. I've thought that there's two possible explanations for this. I'm not 100% sure which one it is, but it could be either or. Either one, the Chocobo's hitbox for getting hit when it loses morale is actually larger than the Chocobo itself, which basically means that you're making contact with the wall when you're running in a narrow passageway like that. Or the other possibility I thought of was, oh, what if they're using that to mask a loading screen, right? Like if you move out of the canyon too quickly, then they can't load all of the terrain that's really close by. So they might be having you move slower like that in order to mask a loading screen, because this game is actually pretty great at masking loading screens. There's very little situations, like there's very few situations where the game actually has to load something. Usually it's like in between chapters. So, but usually when you're out in a place like this, there's no loading screen, and it's a gigantic area, so that's actually a very impressive feat for an relatively older tech game. I mean, it's 2009, so it's not that much older tech, and to be fair, they were doing stuff like this on the PS2 as well with certain games. Ratchet & Clank comes to mind, but I still think it's pretty impressive for something that's more high fidelity like this to be able to mask virtually all of the loading screens on the whole game. So there are some treasures on this map that you can only get on Chocobo back because they're all up on these areas where only the yellow launch pads can get you. There's also a couple of missions that are only available up on top of these things, like Mission 15, Tribal Warfare. Another goblin chieftain has more goblins with it, but you know how this is going to end. There are other Lassie who share my focus. The first to complete it is the winner, with freedom from this Lassie fate as his prize, but for all who have tried, none have yet survived. So I guess that'll make me the first. No more being a Fal'Cie tool for me. Just need to take out that goblin chieftain on the northern high plain near the range of the Behemoth King. And yet you ended up over here somehow. Alright then. That's great. But yeah, so giant Ortoise right there. Don't run into it. With the Chocobo. The Chocobo would be like, wait, you saw that. You couldn't have not seen that, and you still had me run into that? Are you crazy? Okay, so the exclamation point is there, so we found, or we're close to one of the spots. By the way, those Nar stones that we just got, that can be used to upgrade the Collector's Catalog into a Connoisseur's Catalog. So if you plan on upgrading that, there you go, you can use that. Now, I want you to take a look at where the Chocobo's head is. The way that this works, if you're not sure where the treasures are, they'll pretty much always be on bare patches of brown dirt instead of in grass. But the Chocobo will always look in the direction of the buried treasure. So if you pay attention to where the head tracking is, Chocobo says it's to the left. You can see his gaze is moving to the left. So go this way, keep walking until you find it, and there you go. Now you can dig it up. So that's a little trick. If you don't know that his head tracks where the treasure is, then it might make it a little harder for you to find it. But it's pretty much always in patches of dirt, and the Chocobo's head tracks to it. So when you're nearby, anyway. If you're not near it, then you don't. He doesn't head track to that. He'll head track to enemies if you're near them, but if you're not near a treasure, he won't head track to that. Here's your close-up of Saz helping the Chocobo preen its feathers. So now we got a gold nugget for digging that first one up. That is actually one of the guaranteed treasures. There's a guaranteed treasure at 1 dig, 5 digs, 10 digs, 15 digs, and 20 digs. If we get lucky, we'll get 15 digs in 3 goes, but if we don't, we'll have to do 4. The reason for that, I was going to mention it previously, is because there are a total of 20 treasure spots that you can dig up treasure on the steppe, but only 19 of them are currently available to us. One of them is behind a paling that we can't break until we do mission 30. So if we get unlucky, then one of the treasures might spawn behind there. But thankfully, the most unlucky we can get is 1 treasure at a time that way. Man, thought he was following me for a second. Roaming Behemoth King, trying to knock off my Chocobo. But yeah, so if we get unlucky, then one of them will spawn in that treasure spot that we can't access at the moment. But it's only 1 spot, you know. Excuse me, what's the worst that could happen? We dig 4 times, no big deal. Gives me plenty of time to show off all the idle animations, right? And I do have a map of all the dig spots as well, just in case I forget where they are, but I think I remember where most of them are. They're kind of pretty evenly spread out, although there's a couple of spots where it's kind of clustered. Excuse me, so we'll see if we can get to all of them. We're going to go up here, though, because there's actually 2 spots up here. One of the 2 spots up here is the one that's behind the paling that we can't actually get access to, but there's also another optional cutscene up here, so... And we're trying to gather all those up before we leave, so since that's the case, let's head this way and go for that. Just head through the pass, and I think this pass is the only other optional area that we had left to look at. We had to go into that corner and explore that earlier as well. There's Turtle Valley, so we can probably go fix that eventually, and there's the Goblin Chieftains up by Mission 11. So if you haven't done Mission 11, Mission 15 will take you right to it, so... I guess that's a good way to do it. And there's a save point and a chocobo up here, so if you got up here somehow without the chocobo, then, well, now you can get out of here. So that's good. Thank you, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Alright. So now I'm actually going to make Vanille promote her to party leader real quick, because this optional cutscene concerns her, and Saz has a funnier line of dialogue if he's not the party leader. So, there's a couple of other enemies around here. There's a Triffid over there. I can hear the sheep. There we go. And, well, there's those guys over there guarding a treasure, but don't let their small stature fool you. Their mom's probably around here somewhere too, and trust me when I tell you, we don't want to deal with Mama. I mean, you could be if you were very inconspicuous about it. Saz, I said inconspicuous, not conspicuous. You're turning into more of a cartoon character the longer we stay here. Bruh.
You're not mad, are you?
Mule kick!
Wait, it just...
Vanille, I'm pretty sure he just gave you no consent. Okay. Well...
Sorry about that. No hard feelings, huh?
Why do you need that? Anyway, for coming up here, you get a tuft of fluffy wool. So I guess that's cool. I think if I remember correctly, you can go to the large sheep that are out on the steppe now, and you can, like, harvest wool from them, and you'll get different wool depending on the weather conditions, but, like... what's the point of that? I don't get it. But now I know why the sheep are running away from us. It's because Vanille is a menace. So, that's good to know. There's 6 Gloomstalks there. Those sell for 1,000 gil each, so... Obviously, we're going to go back and grab this chocobo first of all, but second of all, once we, before we do that, I'm going to go to the save point that's right here, and I'm going to sell the stuff that we've got, the extra leftover stuff, while giving that flower patch a wide berth, because I don't feel like dealing with Triffids right now. So I won't. Do I need potions? No, I'm good on potions. Okay. These are good. I can sell a bunch of this stuff, but don't sell the clay ring. We need that. You can't buy it again, so if you sell it, you're SOL. And the fire and ice charms I can sell for a cool 15,000 gil. Very nice. And then there's also the gold nuggets that we gold nuggets, yeah, that's great. Gold nugget singular that we just got. My head's in the clouds, you see. But yeah, so you can use these Gnar stones to upgrade certain high-tier weapons and accessories, but also the collector's catalog can be upgraded into the connoisseur's catalog with it. And that increases the drop rate of rare items, so the stuff that's harder to get in the enemy's drop table. If you upgrade to a connoisseur's catalog, you can get those easier. It increases the rate by, like, I think it doubles it or something. Actually, no, I think it's a little bit more than that because it's usually like a 1% drop rate for the rare stuff. So I think a connoisseur's catalog, if you get 5 stars, increases it to like 5 or 6%. So it's like, it either triples it and then the 5-star doubles it or something like that. I don't exactly remember. But I don't ever really need the rare drops for any reason because I'm not planning on getting any trapezohedrons for tier 3 weapons. So I'm just going to sell them. Keep the Cobaltite, keep the Uraninite, keep the Scarletite for sure. That's going to be used to upgrade a Tetratic Crown pretty soon. And then we will go from there. We can get rid of the Rhodochrosite, we can get rid of the Millerite, keep the Superconductors, the Crystal Oscillators sell for 1,000 apiece, so we can get rid of those too. I'll probably keep the Chocobo Plumes, because, I don't know, why would I use them? They're Chocobo Feathers, that's cool. Might as well just hold on to them. And I'm also probably going to hold on to the fluffy wool, which I wish was right near the plumes, but if I sold the fluffy wool, Vanille would probably kill me after she went through all the trouble of getting it. So instead of doing that and ending up on her shit list, I'm just gonna not. Incidentally, I have a question, and I might have brought this up already. Why are there Cocoon save points on Pulse? Like, wouldn't the save points on Pulse, like I could understand treasure chests because, like, maybe they plundered Cocoon or something during the War of Transgression, but save points? Like, how did the people of Pulse save before Cocoon save points? And, like, you can tell it's Cocoon, too, because it's, like, aesthetically Cocoon-like, the save point. Like, it's high-tech for the purpose of being high-tech aesthetic-wise rather than for the purpose of doing work, like Pulse's tech. Like, couldn't they have made a second save point model or something that looked more steampunk to make it Pulsean? I don't know. Probably asking for too much. Anyway, let's see what Vanille looks like on a Chocobo. Probably done this before. She jumped up on that thing like it was no big deal. For Vanille's idle animation, the Chocobo takes a quick nap, and Vanille, recognizing that they might be in danger, tries to gently jostle the Chocobo awake until she basically kicks it and it wakes up. Not really kicks it, but she basically like gee-ups it, you know, gives it a little push, and there you go. There's platinum bangles in the chest that I think a platinum bangle, actually singular, in the chest that those little Neo-Chews are guarding, but, well, if you know old Final Fantasy, you might know that the word Neo-Chew contains the word Ochu, and, well, considering the goblins of Final Fantasy XIII look like this and fight like this, I don't know if an Ochu is something that we want anything to do with at this point. If you go all the way to the end of the wall here, though, you'll get to the paling that I was talking about. If you get to the save point and you see an exclamation point, then that means one of the treasures has spawned beyond the paling here, and you won't be able to access it this time around. But like I said, we can't actually get into the Hairy Archaeopolis, which it's called the Hairy Old Road, or Hayri. Whatever, Hairy Old Road, it's fine. We can't actually get in here yet because this is the stone for the paling, and it's not available yet, so... We will have access to it later because I'm going to do the first 34 missions, and that one back there is mission 30, so it includes that one. But at the moment, we don't have access to it, so... I could fight these goblins as well, but I don't really have my party set up for actual fighting right now, so I don't think I will. Incidentally, I should mention there was also a treasure spot up here, not near the Neo-Chews, a little bit closer to the save point, so... But you would have known about it, like we would have gotten an exclamation point over our heads earlier. I think it's either here or there, that little patch over by the sheep there. So, and the Triffid's right here-ish. Okay, he didn't get up in time, but that's where he is. So that means that we can get all 5 treasures this time. That's good. We've only gotten 1 so far, so that means a good chunk of them must be on the western half of the steppe. There's also another optional cutscene that we can grab on the ridge overlooking Turtle Valley now. So we're going to go, I almost called it Turtle Canyon, that wouldn't be quite right. So we're probably going to go in that direction in a minute. The funky thing about treasures that you dig up with chocobos, though, is that they only show up if you're relatively on the same z-axis as them. So if you're on about the same level, that's when they'll show up. So like if there's something down in Turtle Valley, because there's one dig spot down inside of Turtle Valley, but if you're up on the top section of Turtle Valley, you won't actually get a pop-up for it. It's like over here in that section of the valley, but you won't get a pop-up for it if you're like up here jumping across the cliffs because you're not on level with it. So we'll have to go down into the valley first, and then if we don't see it, then we'll know, okay, there's nothing there, and then we can move from there. There's one over here by the Great Trench, and then if we don't see it here, we'll just head towards Turtle, I almost said Turtle Canyon again, Turtle Valley. Gonna have to go around an Amphispina in the process of doing that, but that's okay. By the way, if you're looking to use the Chocobo to quickly rack up steps for the pedometer, know that that does not work. The pedometer only tracks your steps based on foot steps, not Chocobo steps. That's considered, I guess, cheating by the virtue of the pedometer. So if you're looking to just quickly cheese it with the Chocobo, you can't. You have to actually take the steps on foot. So, but yeah, see, this is where the one that's in Turtle Valley is, behind this adamantulid. So, and if I was up on the cliffs, I wouldn't have seen it, because it wouldn't have shown up on my little radar. So, nice find. What'd you get? Millerite. All right, well, that's worth 1,000. That's not bad. The treasure chests that you dig up between treasure chest or dig number 1 and dig number 5 give you random rewards. They might give you a catalyst. They might give you a chocobo plumes. They might give you some really good items too. Like if you get anything that looks like a small treasure box, that is probably one of the plush items. Like there's dolls and stuff that you can find in other areas as treasure, and those give you, they basically just sell for a premium price. So like, you know, between 10 and 30,000 gil depending on the item. I don't think we're gonna get any of them, but you never know. Might find something. But yeah, see how I'm watching where his head goes? So now I see it's to the right here, so I can go over here. There's only one in this foggy section, so don't worry too much about that. But, yeah, there we go. The Goblin Chieftains are also over here, but we'll work on that in a minute. Dawnlight Dew. That sells for a fair amount, if I remember correctly. Pretty much everything that you get here, except Chocobo Plumes, can sell for a fair amount, so go nuts. Send it to the shops and let them take care of it. And we passed up the mark, by the way, but we'll go back for it in just a moment. There's one of the gold nuggets that we can get while we're here. So that's good. We've already gotten one from the guaranteed treasure chest drop, and then that one. And then there's one other item that we can get that sells for 60,000, but we'll go get that later. For now, there's our second clay ring. This patch is where the one that's up here would spawn, but it's not here. And when you go over here, you get another optional cutscene that kicks you off the Chocobo, so we'll have to find another one to get us out of here, but that's okay.
Huh?
Oh no.
What's that?
I thought you guys weren't going to show up in this game.
Oh. Chill out there, Greenie.
Man,
Hey,
it's a
now,
quick one.
Stop that already.
Says,
Oh, you asking for it
he's
now?
just running around. What's the big deal? Again, you're turning into more of a cartoon character the longer we stay here. This isn't Final Fantasy VII, man.
Next time, big guy.
Okay, bye.
Oh no, head spinning. Don't go hurling now.
Why were you watching him so intently that your head's spinning? Anyway, forgetting that cutscene. Now Cactuars will show up.
Ideas about taking that one on?
Yeah, no, probably not. She's talking about the Adamantoises, in case you're wondering. But now Cactuars. Thanks, Saz. That's great. Cactuars will start showing up all over the steppe now. If you kill them, they're worth about 5,000 CP, but it takes a little while to kill them. I could show it, I guess, while we're up here. There's a Cactuar doll, so that's one of the plush items that I was just talking about. So I guess we could try killing this one. Mission 16 is over there, by the way, on the other side of the Cactuar there, so I guess I could try killing it, but it doesn't really serve much of a purpose when Mission 15's over there, and I need to get my party together for Mission 15 anyway, so let's do that instead. We're just going to get Lightning Fang Hope again, and I guess since I'm getting them out, I could kill the Cactuar, because it's funny, because it's kind of the same strategy to use with the Cactuar as what you use for the Behemoth Kings that we've been killing. So, excuse me. The only status ailment they're vulnerable to is Daze, though, and I don't think Fang has gotten Daze yet. I think we haven't... Like, I said that I needed a certain amount of CP to get that stuff, and then I never bought it, so... Whoops, but... yeah, so it's basically very similar in terms of the strategy that you'd use against the Behemoth Kings. You go into Delta Attack and switch between that and Mystic Tower to build up the gauge, and then eventually just kill it. I don't think it can be launched, but effectively the reason why you want it is because then that way you have a Sentinel to kind of take care of any of the... because cactuars themselves are pretty quick. They do their attacks pretty quickly, so it can become problematic if you let them continue to do things out of control. You've got your general spell, right? Yeah, okay, cool. And we also, I think I mentioned it, but we got the second clay ring while we were up here, so that's good. We only need one more, and we will get that one more in a later area, so I think it's near the end of, not the next dungeon, but the dungeon after that, so we'll work on that once we get there. Either way, I'm not going to kill the cactuar yet, actually. I'll do that in a little while. First, we'll show lightning on the chocobo. Hers is a little boring, her idle animation, but I mean, it fits for her, I suppose. The chocobo goes alert, and lightning goes alert with it, so they're surveying their surroundings to make sure that nothing is going to sneak up on them. Because if anyone sneaks up on us, I'll smell them coming. Or I might not. We will see. But yeah, so that's theirs. It's, like I said, kind of boring, but I mean, it fits Lightning's character, I think, so it's fine. Hers and Snow's, I think, are probably the most boring ones, but out of anybody's, probably Hope's is my favorite, so we'll let him be the last one to ride the chocobos, just because then that way he can do all the rest of the digging, I guess. Because his animation is just, it's great. It's so perfect for him. Anyway, there's a couple of spots up here, if I remember correctly, and there's some near Chocobo Lake down there. The reason why I call it Chocobo Lake, by the way, is because the Chocobo mission, the one that unlocks access to Chocobos is right there, and there's always a Chocobo right nearby, so that, it helps a little bit. Alright, where are we at? That way? Okay, let's go around the Cactuar first. Now, Cactuars normally will run away from you when you try to approach them, but sometimes they'll attempt to run away from you and accidentally run directly into you, so just keep that in mind. You might have to actually fight them depending on how that all goes. What'd you get this time? Rhodochrosite. Okay, that sells for 2,000. Not bad. Oh, excuse me, sheep. Not bad at all. Now, there might be one up near our favorite spot where the 6600 CP Behemoth King Magistetherian battle is. And if it's not there, I think there's a couple of spots south of us that we might be able to access it at, but this gives me an excuse to actually go up here, so if it's here, I'll just... Okay, it's not here, because I would have seen the exclamation point by this point, because it's in this dirt patch right here. Okay, see what I mean? He runs directly towards where you're walking, even though he's trying to run away from you. But, yeah, it would have been in that dirt patch if it was anywhere. So, that means that we don't get to stop off for the free 6600 CP. That's okay, we'll have plenty of excuses to go back that way anyway, since the plot takes us back there soon. So, that means the other one is probably over here somewhere. Unless I missed one spot down on the southern section, which I guess is possible. I don't think it was in any of these three spots up here. I can look at the map, I guess, if I'm not sure. Because there's one spot that's down in this direction. I think it's on that hill over there. Well, plateau, I guess, is more appropriate geographical term, but I don't think that one shows up on your map until you're on top of the thing, basically. So, like, if you're on top of the level, because you're so low on the elevation, you're not on the right z-axis with it, so it won't show up unless you hop up here. I think. Yeah. See how it popped up as we were getting up here? So. And this is the fifth one, so we should get a treasure chest. Yep, so that's what the treasure chests look like.
What's this?
And the fifth treasure you'll dig up is a tetratic crown that you'll get for free. So that's the second one that we need. Third one's available at 10 digs, so once we do one more bout of treasure hunting, we can actually go ahead and grab that one. How do I want to do this? I'm kind of a little far away from the northern high plain now where mission 15 is, so I'm thinking what I might do. I usually, when I do my chocobo digging, I usually like to go back to the Font of Namva. And as a matter of fact, you can just head on out, buddy. Thanks for the ride, because I don't want to be walking. I want to make sure I'm still walking on foot so I can keep racking up the steps for the pedometer. But I usually like to do my chocobo hunting in the font of Namva to start with, because there's one treasure that's just over here in a dirt patch, and it's kind of out of the way from the rest of them. The other one that's out of the way is in the hairy old road, but that one's a little bit more like on the main path that we'll take as we kind of do a loop around the steps, so it's a little easier to get access to, I think, than this one. This one's a little out of the way, so since it's a little out of the way, that's usually where I like to start. It's either here or the northern section of the map where the 6600 CP battle is. So I do want to keep building my TP up, though, so that's why I'm going to pick a couple of fights on my way around here, even though we don't really need the CP at the moment. I want to build my TP back up because I'm going to try to use a summon for a different mission, actually mission 16, which takes us back into the Font of Namva as well. So, but we'll pick that fight later. Probably, it's going to be an Alexander summon, and I think we've already gotten an Alexander kill in mission 2, if I remember correctly. But Alexander's pretty convenient for that one, especially if you get a preemptive strike. It just kind of lets you bamboozle all the enemies, and one of his moves you can spam on them. They're all vulnerable to deep protect, and it inflicts deep protect, so it just keeps doing more and more damage. So, but we need at least 3 TP in order to do that, so you know, pick a couple of fights while we're at it, why not? Excuse me. So probably what we'll do then is we'll go to the save point in the Font of Namva, and I'll upgrade the Tetratic Crown that we just got, because we basically we can upgrade it all the way to its star level, because it only takes like 1,000 experience. We've got plenty of materials to do that, so we'll just upgrade it to its star level, and then we can actually use the Scarletite that we just got from that one treasure that was up on the hill that we couldn't reach without a chocobo in order to upgrade it to a Tetratic Tiara. Then, once we dig up the 10th treasure, we'll have a third Tetratic Tiara that we can upgrade to star level, and then we'll just have that equipped on all 3 of our main party members that are in here for random battles, and we're in great shape. There's also a treasure chest that I want to pick up in the font itself that we didn't get before, not the sea petal scales, but something else, so we'll go pick that up in just a few minutes. Once we, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this, and then we're going to save the game, and then I'll quit out and reload, and like I said, when you quit out and reload, that respawns the, whatchamacallit. It respawns the treasures that you can dig up with the chocobo, so I guess we'll get rid of the armored shell. Stuff that we've got 1 of, might as well get rid of, you know, just to reduce inventory down. Not the fluffy wool, though. We can't reasonably get rid of that without Vanille killing me, so I will not do that. What does this give? 24? I think that sells for more, actually, so I don't think I'm going to use that. I don't really need the ooze, but do I want to spend 495 experience on this? No, I'll just use Torn Leather real quick. Use these up. Okay, we're 1.75 times. That's not bad. We need about 665 in order to continue here. So, not using superconductor. That's too much. I could have used that just right away and been done. Use all of these, and I think, yeah, we will be able to use a bombshell now to finish it up. So, let's just do that. Yep. There you go. And now we can use the Scarletite that we just got to upgrade this and do a Tetratic Tiara, level 1. And now it's got 1,000 more experience to do. Do I want to use a Bomb Core for this? What else do I have to upgrade that I don't have, like, listed in my notes? Another Tetratic Tiara. And a Saint's Amulet and a Blessed Talisman. So maybe I'll just do this one normally, actually. Just do a whole bunch here, and then we'll be good. Might as well do that, I guess. And then we need 775 at the moment. I think that's a little too much for us to get out of 1 bombshell, so let's just... there we go. That should be good. And then bombshell itself. Oh no, never mind. Not good enough. This gives 328. Okay, so we need a little more. 328. So we need a couple more of these. Okay, well now we'll definitely get it because it's a ×3 bonus, so there you go. I think I'll give that one to Fang. No, I think I'll give that one to Lightning, actually, because Fang isn't really having any trouble with the virulent breath that we have to deal with, so since that's the case, I'll just give that to Lightning, and then she can be good if any of the enemies decide to walk away from Fang and fight her instead, you know. But this also allows me to give that General's Belt back to either Snow or Saz, so I think since it's the first one, I'll just give it back to Saz, and then we'll give the other one back to Snow once we, get to that point. But basically now we'll have accessories for the battle party that does random battles, because most random battles won't take us longer than a minute, so we won't lose our buffs. And then we'll also have accessories for the party that does boss battles, where they just have general resistances that will help them stay alive a little longer than they would otherwise. So, alright, let's sell off some of our goodies, and then once we've sold off some of the goodies that we just got, we'll save, quit, reload, and then go from there. Yeah, I guess the Dawnlight 2 sells for 500, so that's not terrible. And Cactuar Doll sells for 12,000, so that's definitely worth picking up. Get rid of these. Gold Nugget is another 60,000, so there you go. And trust me when I tell you, even though we have lots of money at the moment, we will spend it. Ultra compact reactors don't buy themselves, you know. But anyway, we'll save. And I'm actually going to take care of the enemies that are here in the font so that I can grab the... There's a water charm in here that I want to grab. So we're going to take care of the enemies here so I can show them off a little bit more. Grab that, and then we'll get on another chocobo. I'll probably have Fang do the riding this time just because she's already in the party. Then we'll switch up the party. We'll have Snow do it, and then we'll let Hope do probably the last entire section of digging by himself, because that way he gets the chance to do Mission 16 and go from there. I might actually go in the opposite direction of where I normally go when I do my little circle. Usually I do a counterclockwise circle around the step, but maybe I'll do a regular clockwise circle this time because it'll take me to Mission 15 where the Goblin Chieftain is before it takes me across Turtle Valley to go and get the stone for Mission 16, and then I'll be going back to the font anyway to, you know, start the third section of the dig, so then we'll have a reason and excuse to actually go there, you know. By the way, I should mention this. Like I said, if we get unlucky and one of the treasure chests spawns behind the paling that's there, that means that 3 digs will only get us 14 treasures. I'd like to get 15, and hell, if we get really unlucky, we'll only get 13, because we'll only get 4 this time and 4 next time. But I'd like to get 15. But if we do a 4th digging session, I'm only going to get up to the 15th treasure. I'm not going to get anything past that, even though there will be more treasures that have spawned, just because I don't particularly need anything else. If you dig up to the 20th time, though, you can get a ribbon. We'll get a ribbon later, though, and as you'll see, if we go and see the ribbon, ribbons in this game are not the best. So, but I'll talk about it when we actually get a ribbon, so.
Just another battle.
Nice quick preemptive strike on the Sahagins there. The thing about Sahagins is that, like I said, they attack kind of relentlessly. They have like a 5-hit combo that they'll use for most of their regular physical attacks, and it can be problematic. If you have Vigilance or if you get Curse on them, it actually makes them a lot more manageable. Or if you have a Sentinel, that also works pretty well. The Orobon in the back is, I think, capable of using Daze on you, if I remember correctly, so that's a little bit problematic, but we shouldn't really have too many problems with it if we just toss the Holy Hand Grenade into the whole group. I guess I can use Blitz too since I've got Bravery. Might as well use it for all it's worth, you know. But yeah, see how they're pecking away at Fang there? It's kind of a problem, I guess. But since she's a Sentinel, she can handle it, basically. And she won't meta guard until a little bit later in her list of stuff, so. Goodbye. Lightning can send that one to the moon. I think if I remember right, Orobons have a slightly lower stagger threshold than the regular Sahagins, which I guess is helpful. Alright, off to Relentless Assault. Queue up 5 Spark Strikes, since they're weak to electricity as well as fire, and I don't have Flame Strike just yet, so we'll just use this to our advantage. And then we'll go aggression, and we'll get rid of it.
As if there was any doubt.
Nothing to it. But that battle's pretty good. Gets you over 4,000 CP for about a minute of work, so not terrible. I think it respawns if you go over to the Chocobo over there as well, so that's not bad. But, you know, just casually gather up a little more CP while we're at it. Might as well. But yeah, see how they're just kind of poking away at us? It's gonna, basically, it's not that they're difficult to kill, it's more that they're disruptive because they'll use those attacks, and those attacks will just prevent you from attacking them back because they'll just interrupt your attacks by the process of doing what they're doing. So it can be annoying, but we've got it on lock basically at this point. We've got the Sentinel working its magic, so. Alright, Relentless Assault. Queue up the Spark Strikes. Use my Bravery for something. There we go. Probably 4 Spark Strikes will kill it. Yeah.
Let's keep this up.
From there. I think Sea Petal Scales are the rare drop from them, so I guess that's nice. Orobon over here all by itself. So I guess this is where you fight it in a controlled environment. Not that it's going to last very long with this, but you know. Probably just get it with one more round. I don't think we need to switch to 18 to refresh for this. Yeah, we'll get it one more, because Fang will just jump up and knock it out.
And I was just getting started.
I mean, if you wanted to fight more, we're going to fight a whole big group of them in a second, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, Fang. Man, they could have seen me right away. Oh, okay, we didn't even get a preemptive on that. It looked like we were gonna, but we did not. Alright, Fang, take their aggro for me real quick. Thank you. I think Provoke is basically like 100% accurate on them, so that's one way to deal with them if you don't feel like dealing with all the other ways that they make your life miserable. But yeah, getting Curse on them also works. I think they're susceptible to pain, so that helps, although they can cast some magic, but it's not particularly problematic because it's like, I think they cast water if I remember correctly, but like it takes them a while to get it charged up and they can be interrupted during it. So, and I mean, like, it did 36 damage to Fang just there, so like, no problem, you know. I mean, it got slow on her, but what do I care, right? She's just sitting there tanking, so. Is it just you? Oh, okay, well then I can go right on this assault now. And that's it. Nice and simple. Got a whole bunch more CP from that because there was a whole bunch of Sahagins and 5-star ranking, relatively low target time, or not target time, but I guess it's a relatively low target time, but we can do it even faster than the target time, so that's not really something we need to be concerned about. But there's a water charm right there. Again, I would recommend just selling it unless you need to upgrade the water-resistant ring because you want to get the Treasure Hunter trophy. I think if I remember correctly, the different trophies that you can get can change, like you get a character wallpaper for your XMB on the PS3, but if I remember correctly, it only works when you have it, like the cursor hovering over the game itself. I don't think it works for the whole XMB, so. A little unfortunate, but I could be just talking out of my ass there. I've never really messed with those, so I don't really know 100% for sure. Anyway, Fang rides the Chocobo side saddle, which, I don't know, just seems like the perfect way for her to ride the Chocobo, if I'm honest. Like, it's that European polo style. At least, if I remember correctly, female polo rides side saddle, but I could be wrong about that. The Chocobo goes alert for her as well, but she gets a real good stretch in when the Chocobo goes alert. Like, real good. Like, she holds that pose for so long that it would probably hurt my neck if I did that. But there you go. So that takes care of that. If the treasure spawned here, like if the Chocobo dig treasure spawned here, it would be in this patch right here, so. But it is not. So since it's not, let's just move out of the font and head out into the open steppe. Like I said, I'll do a clockwise instead of a counterclockwise this time, just so that we can go to mission 15, beat up the goblins that are there, and then we can go over to mission 16 from there. Although I'm going to have to walk back to the north end of the steppe to pick up a Chocobo if I stop off and dismount to take care of mission 15, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. These Direflans are a little tricky to walk around, by the way, because of the little interactions with the cliffs there. So just kind of don't worry about it if you have to hop all over the cliffs in order to get past them. If that, that prevents you from taking a chip to your morale, then yeah, that probably is for the best. So we'll do this first, and then I'll go in the opposite direction. Yeah, okay. Well, that's nice. Nice and quick for this one. What you got this time? Millerite. Okay, nice. That'll sell for a little bit. Okay, migrating Gorgonopsid. Steer clear. Yeah, we'll go clockwise so we can... I don't really... It's weird because I always go counterclockwise when I do the treasure hunting, so when I go clockwise like this, it might actually mess me up. I might not know exactly where all the treasures are, but I don't know, maybe you'll figure it out. Oh, well, I can tell you there isn't one right here. You know shit, Sherlock, right? But I don't think there's one over here either, because I would have seen it already, because it's in this little patch here behind where the guy is. That's trying to kill me. The Amphisbena trying to eat me. No, thank you. Okay, well, there's one down there, potentially. The Cactuar there. Definitively. And I think I would have seen it already if it was down here. Yeah, so since I haven't seen it, let's just move along. Ah, okay. What you got? Straight ahead. All right. Okay, Cactuar. See what I mean, though? It's kind of annoying sometimes because they just wander directly in front of you. It's like, aren't you supposed to be trying to get away from me? Why don't you get away from me? Like, if that's what you're attempting to do, then do it. Don't walk in front of me. Chocobo Plume. Not particularly good. Not good for selling, really, I don't think. Well, maybe they sell for a little bit, but not enough for me to justify it. So, yeah, like I said, there's a Chocobo up here as well as a Cactuar and a Behemoth King, and that battle over there. So if you're entering the Archeologist Steppe from the next area and you want to go Chocobo digging, you can just start right there. Especially since Mission 17 is down there, so you can start right there because that's a teleport waystone. So it lets you start there, and then you can just quickly hop on a Chocobo and go hunting. So digging for chivalry. No, that's a different game. Don't know when we're gonna play that one. I gotta figure out if I'm gonna play Mega Man Zero, like the Mega Man Zero series first, or if I'm gonna play that game instead. Because there's the Zero and ZX Advent collection now that I can go get, and then there's the Treasure Trove collection for that game, which I have on PC, but I don't think I want to play it on PC, so probably get it on the Switch. I don't think it's particularly graphically intensive, but I don't trust my computer necessarily to do that, and I need an excuse to actually... Like, I only have a few games that I'm planning on playing on the Switch anyway, so I need an excuse to actually use the console. So... Alright, so starting Delta attack, and we will just spam the Holy Hand Grenade and go from there. See how it works. We don't need the summon for this one, we just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goblins. Oh, we got a preemptive strike. Nice. We don't need the preemptive strike for this one. We can finish it just like we did the other one by just spamming Ruinga, but I'll take it. Why not, right? Get rid of as many of them as we can really quickly like this. Send lightning hurtling towards the other end of the battlefield while we're at it, because why not?
Out of my way! Wide open.
Whatever you say, Lightning. Whatever you say.
Out of my way!
Actually, this should be good, though, because it should get rid of quite a large chunk of them just in the process of doing this, so... anybody else that's staggered? Yeah, you're staggered. Yeah, look at that. We've gotten rid of 4 out of the 6 goblins really quickly, and here's the 5th one that's gone now, so... Alright, so now we can start single targeting. We'll work Smart Bomb on the Chieftain once we get a little bit closer here. I just want Fang to keep their attention while we're in the process of doing this. So, I guess I could get Lightning back closer to the battlefield if I, whatchamacallit, use attack once. I'm not even worried about the Bravery and Shell that they get from Goblin Enhancement. It doesn't even bother me. It's like, whatever. I'll kill you anyway, and it'll just take a little longer, but we've got the initiative bonus, so that doesn't matter if it takes longer. Stabilize the gauge, and now we can Smart Bomb him, get Curse up. And, I mean, if we get Pain or Fog as well, that would be nice, but not necessary. The important one here is Curse, so... And it also lets Fang stabilize the gauge a little bit more with... Well, I guess she could stabilize the gauge pretty well as a commando as well, but, you know. Alright, well, we got Pain, Slow, and Curse on him, so the only thing missing is Fog, but I don't think he really casts anything once the other goblins are gone, so I don't think it's particularly problematic. Bye. Ruinga just makes those goblin fights so much simpler. Those used to be really tricky to do when I didn't have Ruinga previously, but with Ruinga, no, it's not even a problem. Oh, and that's the other thing that I need to star, actually, is the Survivalist Catalog, which we get as a reward for this one. I'm going to star it, and I'm actually going to dismantle it, and I'll tell you why in just a moment, but first we got to go actually get a Chocobo, so we can go pick up Mission 16. And at the moment, we're kind of marooned in the middle of this place, close to Turtle Valley, so I guess we're hoofing it back to where we need to go. I'll start in Relentless Assault, even though I want to use Delta Attack. Usually, I start in Relentless Assault even if I want to use something else, because that way I can get the whole transition where they do, like, the poses out of the way quickly at the beginning of the fight, and then I don't have to deal with it later. So... I think it was just you. No. Yep. I'll do one more round of that, actually. And then we'll go Mystic Tower and we'll finish him up. Ow. Okay, I guess I'll go now. Why did you choose to jump there, Lightning, exactly? What good did that do you? I guess I could Smart Bomb now. He's kind of being passive at the moment. Passive-ish. Because you can get Pain and Fog on him. Pain is really the only major one that matters, honestly. Because then he can't attack you, so... And those debuffs don't last as long. I think, if I remember correctly, Pain and Fog are some of the shortest buffs in terms of how long they last, but... debuffs, that is. But usually, in a random battle, it's long enough for me to not care, because it just, you know... It lasts long enough for me to get rid of the target, and that's it. So, if it's a large target like that, or a chieftain or something, it's like, okay, well, that's all we really needed you to do, is just debilitate you for long enough to make the battle more free. And that's about it. So. Now, don't go rocketing off or anything here. Sometimes you'll see them, they'll turn around, then they'll just get zoomies and they'll run away from you. But yeah, see how Virulent Breath there didn't actually stagger lightning out of one of her blizzards? I did get poisoned through Veil, which is annoying, but effectively what that is because it gives you vigilance for the first 30 seconds of the fight, so you'll stagger less for the first 30 seconds. And I personally, I understand why other people might not find that as valuable, but I personally find that a lot more valuable in random battles, because the less I'm staggering from just random bullshit, the more I'm getting target times, you know, the times that I need to do down so that I can get in within target times or much earlier than target times and get 5-star rankings. So you don't necessarily need it for boss fights because it runs out in 30 seconds and most boss fights are closer to 5 minutes, but, you know, it works for this particular configuration pretty well when, you know, battles are only approximately 30 seconds to a minute. Like, whatever, you know? That works very nicely. And we'll get Fang hers in just a minute. We just gotta get back to the Chocobo. And I'll probably use the 6600 CP battle when I get there, just because it's there, so I might as well. And again, the reason why we're going this way is because we're actually going clockwise this time instead of counterclockwise, so that I can... What we'll do is we'll go to Turtle Valley once we get the Chocobo back, and we'll... pick up Mission 16. We'll go the rest of the way around. Hope that it doesn't show up in the Harry Archaeopolis, but it might. Send that one to the moon, but we already did that, so. And then once we've gotten all the treasures dug up, for this round of Chocobo digging, we'll go back to the Font of Namva. That's where Mission 16 is, so we'll finish Mission 16. We'll go do the other round of digging, and we'll pick up Mission 17, finish that off, and then we're done on the step, I think. I don't think we have anything else to do once that's done, so I think that's about it. I think I'm going to pick a fight with the Behemoth King here, and the Cactuar, actually, so that we can show how to do those, because why not? It's 4,000 CP for this guy, 5,000 for the Cactuar, and 6,600 for the other fight, so may as well, you know. Unfortunately, these guys are big enough and strong enough to force me to stagger when I get smacked around by their giant claws. So I don't think the tetratic tiaras are going to prevent that, unfortunately. Okay, Fang's got him. Good. Ow. Protect will help against that, though. Protect reduces damage by 40%, if I remember correctly. So that's nice. Makes things a little easier to deal with. And we got hit the last, that last big attack that hit us was right before Protect ran out, so. As a result of that, we should not need to heal. Sorry, I'm stretching. Making sure my... Because when you do stuff like this, where you're sitting for a long period of time staring at a single screen for several hours at a time, you gotta make sure you stretch, especially as you get older, because your neck will start to hurt. You turn the wrong way, and then all of a sudden your neck hurts for the rest of the night, and it's like, okay, well, I feel my age now, you know? It sucks. And you deal with it, but it still sucks. Alright, we should stagger him almost immediately after this, so I'll let Hope do that. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go to aggression real quick and let Hope stagger him, so there we go. My turn! I wonder if I let him come down. I guess I do, since Fang whiffed her 5th attack there. Interesting. I didn't know she could do that. Well, whatever. Didn't really matter in the long and short of it. 4,000 CP. Now for you. Let's see how you like Delta attack. He don't want nothing to do with Delta attack. He's like, get me out of here, Scoob! Alright, Cactuars. Susceptible to daze, vulnerable to fire. I don't know what Cactus Dance does. I think if he uses it a certain number of times, he might turn into a bigger Cactuar, if I remember correctly. But for the most part, I think for the first several minutes of battle, he'll basically just kick over and over again, and that's pretty much all you need to worry about. Just kick. He has a 777% stagger gauge, so I hope you're feeling lucky. Now, if you have the Procyon still from Saz, and you want Saz to fight these guys, you could have Saz wear one of the speed sashes or energy sashes that we got. If you haven't sold it already, I know I said to sell it, but that's because I wasn't planning on taking advantage of it. And when he wears the Procyons and that sash, he has a chance, well, he gets the skill Random Instant Chain, and that has a 0.5% chance from every one of his hits, excuse me, to basically instantly get the Cactuar all the way to the top of its bar just from that one hit. So if you do that, you can then stagger the Cactuar. I don't remember if they can be launched or not, but they might be able to in this state. So either way, it doesn't particularly matter, but you'll be able to get rid of it a lot faster in the process of doing that. He's got, 777,777 HP. But he's actually, and here's what you need to know, by the way, about Random Instant Chain in case you want to use this, because you can use it for a lot of different things in the game. A lot of the highest level marks in the game are still susceptible to it, and the reason is because of their level. Random Instant Chain only works on enemies that are level 49 or lower, which means it doesn't work on any of the story bosses throughout the entire game. But pretty much all of the marks, except some of the toughest ones, are at or below level 49, so they're still susceptible to Random Instant Chain. So if you're in the late game and you're having trouble with a mark, just synthesize that with an energy sash or a speed sash and a weapon that is in the Gestalt group. And then there you go. Stagger them immediately and that takes care of that. And I mean, if I had Daze, I would also have Fang use Daze as well here, but I don't have Daze, so I can't take advantage of that. I'm just going to stabilize the gauge before I heal Fang again, so... I don't know if we're going to actually stagger him or not. I might just, honestly, in a minute, just, go on Relentless Assault or Aggression or something and take out the rest of his bar. Once we get him to, like, 600 or something, maybe. No, he's got a lot of HP left still, so maybe not. Because then he'll start kicking other random party members, and that can be problematic. I think the target time for this battle is pretty high, though, so... Still got time, Yeah, I think we'll wait just a second until he kicks one more time, and then we'll go Delta attack. This Fang's kind of got this under control, I think. At least for now. He's basically dead, so maybe I'll just finish him. There you go. Done. And that's the gist of Cactuar fighting. Like I said, large target time, 5,000 CP for doing it, so... You might be able to get a green needle from them as well, but I haven't checked their drop tables, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other. Not that green needles particularly matter to me, but it's there if you want to use it, so... Do I pick up Mission 17 while I'm here? Because that's over here, on the way to where we're going, although then we'd have to walk back here anyway, so... Maybe I don't. Maybe I'll just leave it for now. Because we'll have an excuse to do that. Oh, I'm not in aggression. Okay, go to aggression real quick. Who are you attacking? Okay, I'll go quick. There we go. Well, that was almost bad, but we buffed it out. It's fine. Go, Lightning, go, quick. Yeah, before he does anything bad by existing. I'll wait. Alright, now do this. And off he goes. Almost. There we go.
And I was just getting started.
Nice and simple. Get the extra CP for it. And now we'll head back. We'll grab the Chocobo. And let's see, who's ridden the Chocobo already? Everyone except Snow and Hope. So let's get Snow back into the party so he can ride the Chocobo. I'm not as big of a fan of snow riding the Chocobo, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Oh, you know, I might as well max out that Survivalist catalog while I'm here as well. Let's just do that real quick, just so I can show you what it does. So the Survivalist catalog actually increases the drop rate of shrouds after battle. I think the drop rate at the moment is like 0.8% or something for each shroud, so it's not very likely, and this increases it up to like, I want to say between 3 and 5%. I don't remember exactly how much, but I've never really had much luck getting it to get me shrouds reliably. But if you max it out and then dismantle it, it gives you a guaranteed 2 Fortisol, 2 Aegisol, and 1 Deceptisol. And I personally find that more valuable than waiting for it to proc something at random when we fight stuff. So, I don't know. I think I'm just going to max it out. And then we'll just go from there. We'll just dismantle it and use it. You could use a Uraninite to, Uraninite, whatever you want to call it, to, I forget what it upgrades into. Maybe it upgrades into a collector's catalog, but, I mean, there's 3 of those that you get for free anyway, and those are buyable. As far as I'm aware, by the way, this is the only Survivalist catalog in the game, so if you're going to dismantle it, make sure you're 100% sure about it before you do that. I'm 100% sure, so I'm just going to do it. But, if you know, no second chances, obviously. Once you dismantle it and you save, it's gone forever, so. But you have it in your inventory for the Treasure Hunter trophy as soon as you pick it up, so it's not like you don't have to have the item in your inventory in order to get the Treasure Hunter trophy. You just have to have collected it at one point or another, if I remember correctly. The game keeps track, so. Alright, let me see here. Where have we run so far in terms of the Chocobo? I know we went clockwise instead of counterclockwise, so I think we looked there, we went in that direction, and we looked up here, and then we went over there to take care of the goblins. I think we only got 1 treasure so far, though, so. We got 1 on the upper part. I think there was another one, but. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of Snow on the Chocobo because he's just so big. Like, I feel like the Chocobo needs to be larger just to accommodate for his gigantic frame. And I don't know, it looks like every time when we're walking, I'll show you, but it looks like he's gonna fall off and stuff like that when he's riding it. I never really got this pose that he does here, though. I was just like, okay, well, it's basically just Lightning's pose. But no, he's actually posing like a hero on a horse in all the stories, basically. The Chocobo's just alert, like usual, but he's posing like a white knight on a horse. That's what it is. So, in case that reference wasn't clear, I only just got that recently, so it's okay if it wasn't clear. But yeah, like, look at how big he is compared to the Chocobo. Like, we need a Chocobo that's about 2 feet taller in order for it to fit Snow's frame properly. This poor Chocobo. I think, if I remember correctly, I went up here and I looked for the treasure up here and we didn't see it, and then I dropped it off. Like, I had the Chocobo drop me off right next to the mission 15 mark. Because it would be over there if we would have gotten it, but it's not there, so. Either we already got it, and I don't remember, which is possible, or it was never there to begin with, which is also possible. So we'll top across the valley. We'll go collect up mission 16 and see if there's anything across the valley. Doesn't look like it. I think you'd see it like before you made the hop if it was here, but it's not, so. Now the real question is, do I hop down and try to like navigate between all the Ortoises with my Chocobo? I don't know if that's such a good idea. And here's mission 16, Surrogate Slayer, another Sahagin fight. My dear sweet sister set out with her grandiose dreams of saving the Chocobos, but never returned. Oh, well, now we know who that is. I've sought her crystal high and low, but it is nowhere to be found. Can it be that she turned Seath? No, she will return. She must. But until she does, there is no one to defend the flock. Didn't she specifically leave to defend the flock? Perhaps if I complete her focus, the Fal'Cie will set her free. I will set out for the font of Namva at dawn and put an end to the Sahagin's predation. And then you ended up here. Like, it just seems weird where these people keep ending up. It's like, how did you get here if that was your... Shouldn't your crystal be closer to the font then? I don't know. Whatever. Let me just look down here real quick and see if there's enough room for me to walk around this thing with the chocobo. I don't actually know if there is. There's a section of the map that we can't really... I mean, I guess what I could do is I could hop down here, I could go fill it out, and then I could just hop back, because I think the chocobo can jump back up here after that, so... But, yeah, here we go. Here's the section of the map that we didn't have filled, so... I guess we could just jump up these little stairs behind this adamantulid if I can't get up this one, but I've got a little spot, so... Just jump up this. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me check real quick. Just walk or something if I have to get past this one. Because this is an adamantoise, so... We bump it, and this chocobo is gone. But, okay, the treasure would be right here. But it's not, so... That's okay. That means it's in one of the other spots. Of course, as we go, we're getting closer and closer to narrowing down the spots to the point where it might be in the Hairy Archaeopolis, but... Like I said, if it is, it's not the end of the world. We'll just go for one more run. That's fine. I found something. Where are you at there? Let's see. That way. Boggy, that way! I was going this way! Okay, it's over here. There we go. And so far, everyone except Hope has dug up something. Now, they have like little one-liners that they'll say when they find a treasure chest that's different from what they say when they just find a regular old item. But I don't think that's as valuable to show as the idle poses, honestly. Like, the idle poses are the most important thing to show for me, personally, because that's the part where it was a little bit more work, obviously, that the developers put in, because somebody made all those idle animations. So they didn't have to do those, but they did. So, figure might as well just, you know, show them off. Excuse me. I think if I don't see... Excuse me there, fellas. Pardon me. If I don't see the item pop up when we get close to the Triffids here and the save point, I'm going to go check by the Hairy Archaeopolis just to see if something spawned there. And like I said, you'll know because the exclamation point will pop up around the save point that's behind, well, in front of the paling. So... And that'll tell you, oh, okay, well, the treasure spawned in a place I can't get it yet. Seems like they probably should have programmed for that, but, what do I know? Okay, no item at the moment, so. Let's just keep on going. Go all the way over here. I think I might give the chocobo a rest, honestly, because I gotta imagine this one's getting pretty tired from lugging snow around. So, and then I think I'll just let Hope ride on the one that's up here to finish off the hunt and go back to the font, since he's got to be the main character anyway. Hey, Amarella, how you doing? Welcome back. We are on the Archaeolt step in Final Fantasy XIII. We're just hunting around for chocobo treasure. Got to do one more round of the step itself after this one, and then I'm done hunting for treasure. I'm trying to plunder Grand Pulse for not all of its goodies, but most of them, before I move on with the plot. To no one's surprise, Chapter 11 of Final Fantasy XIII is going to take longer than any other chapter in the game. No one was shocked by this. I was shocked by the fact that I did not get hit by that goblin just there on my way through, but, you know. Alright, so anyway. Cactuar, Triffids, Neochus. Whole lot of stuff I don't want to deal with at the moment, but let's just stop off here. Switch characters and let Hope ride the chocobo. Doing okay? Just nom spicy ramen and your mouth has become fire, as is the norm. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you can expect when you nom spicy ramen, to be fair. Got to get some milk in you if you're not lactose intolerant. Milk helps to break up the acidity of it. I forget what it actually does. It's not that it breaks up the acidity, it's like the milk breaks down the spice, like the particles that create the spicy sensation in your mouth, if I remember right, so. Works a treat, at least for me, when I eat spicy food. So. Alright, put our normal party back. I don't think we're gonna need, like, anything from this party, though, when we do Mission 16. Like, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a preemptive strike. I might use a Deceptisol, since we just got one guaranteed. And then as soon as I do it, I'm gonna summon Alexander. And once you do that, you just throw a couple of fireballs and then do Gestalt. You spam Retributive Blast and then kill them with Divine Judgment, and that should work pretty good. Alright, Hope. Go ahead, big guy. Go ride the Chocobo. This is just what he's always wanted to do. How do I know? Well, his idle pose, once it plays, he finds a spot, just the right spot, and he scratches the Chocobo in just the right spot. And it keeps going because the Chocobo loves it so much that it starts nuzzling him. Isn't that cute? That's my favorite one. That's my favorite idle pose out of all the characters. Like, you know, some of the other ones are kind of just like, okay, well, this is just here, and you know, Vanille's is kind of cute, Saz's is kind of cute, but Hope's is my favorite. It's just absolutely adorable. Exactly the kind of serotonin boost that we need as we get sucked into a black hole trying to go through these narrow passageways. The Crazy Chocobo song from 13.2 is still your favorite Chocobo theme. Yeah, Crazy Chocobo from 13.2 is not what I expected, but definitely what I needed from a Chocobo theme. It is completely silly and balls to the wall, but it's pretty great as a result. Drinking milk helps break down the oils because of a protein in it, so drinking it before, during, and after can help, but you don't mind it. Okay, well, there you go. I'm glad that you know the chemical explanation, because I do not currently. That will change because I'm taking nutrition courses this next semester to help explain the chemical properties of food, because, well, that's my major, so it would help if I knew what the hell I was doing. But, yeah, so I know that now, but it'll be ingrained in my brain shortly once I take the nutrition classes, so. I think before we go to the corner there, I'm going to go over here first. Because there could be some over here. Yeah, okay. And where are we looking? This way? Yeah, okay. So this is going to be past the Gorgonopsids. Over here, I think. There's a little bit of dirt. Right by the flans. Yep, there we go. Now we'll go to the corner since we already moved in that direction anyway. And then we'll see what else we can find. I think we got 2 with snow, so this is the 4th one, because we got 1 before this. Dawnlight Dew. Again, these treasures in between the guaranteed ones, I'm not really concerned if we don't get anything good, because it's just random stuff, so you might get something really good and you might not. I mean, you could get a gold nugget, from the random stuff that you're finding in between here, but... Or you could get a plush chocobo, stuff like that, so... It just kind of depends on... Get out of here, Cactuar. I need to dig up treasure. I'm not even interested in you.
Huh?
And, yeah, so... Just random stuff that we can get. This one, however, is a guaranteed one, if I remember correctly. Because this is the 10th one. Yes, it is. It's the Tetratic Tiara that you get for digging up 10 treasures. So that's a 3rd Tetratic Tiara now. Oh, I almost forgot about this. We can't equip anybody while we're on the Chocobo, but if you go on the status screen, the Chocobo has his own party slot. That's funny. But, yeah, so at the 10th treasure that you dig up, you get a Tetratic Tiara for free. We've already got 2. That's our 3rd. We don't even have to star it, but I'm going to star it anyway, and then we'll give it to Fang, and then all of our in random battle party members will have a Tetratic Tiara to take advantage of. So that should be pretty nice. So now that we're done with that, we can head up here for a little shortcut to the font, because we can kind of just hop along the cliffs here and get there without having to deal with all the Behemoth Kings and everything else that's on the way. The Gorgonopsids. Some stuff might still see me, but I'll be damned if they'll be able to catch me. That ain't happening. Well, that did, though. Bye. But yeah, so once you hit something, your morale will take a hit. You'll get a brief period of invincibility when the feathers are blinking. I don't think that means that you can just walk through enemies, though. I think that just means you can't get hit again in short order, because then it could just, you know, become a problem that you can't deal with. And then you'll get your feather back after a little while, so there you go. don't know why I'm walking here on the chocobo, though. I should be walking here on foot so that I could keep taking advantage of the pedometer, but I suppose I can just drop him off at the font here and then save and walk to the rest of it. He deserves a party slot, so does Saz's Bobo, his Frocobo, yeah, his Chicobo. They all need a little slot in the party. We need as many party members in this game as we had in Final Fantasy VI. We had 14 party members in Final Fantasy VI by the time the game was over. And you could either make them all do the same thing except for their unique party skill, or you could make them all different. It just kind of depended on what you wanted. So, alright, let's upgrade that Tetratic Tiara. We'll give it to Fang, and then we'll go do Mission 16. Like I said, I might use the Decepticol, although there is a rock right next to where the hunt spawns, so I might be able to get the preemptive strike on them without having to deal with them just, you know, seeing me immediately. So, we'll see. We'll keep the Chocobo plumes. These monstrous fangs are working pretty well for boosting up the EXP bonus. So now, unfortunately, you have to do 2,000 experience with this one. So is that all of them? Yeah. Okay. Because it starts at 0 experience, so it might be better in this particular case to use a bomb core instead of a bomb shell. Let's see if we can get up to a 3 times bonus first, though. There we go. And a bomb core gives us 1182, and that's enough. Good. So we got 1 bomb shell and 2 bomb cores to mess around with or anything else that I need to upgrade, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's just the Saint's Amulet and the Blessed Talisman now, if I remember right. We're going to upgrade the General's Belts and Witch's Bracelets pretty soon, but I need to be able to buy superconductors first. And I can't buy them just yet. We have to wait until we go into Mahabara before we can buy them. So I'm just going to hold off on that until then. Clay rings will have the ability to upgrade them eventually as well, but I don't want to upgrade them until we actually need them for anything. So until that point, I'm just going to kind of leave them in my inventory at level 1, and once we have something that can help us with actually upgrading them, then we can go from there. But until then, I'll just leave them. It's fine. Oh yeah, gotta sell the Dusklight Dew as well. Dawnlight Dew, there we go. And we're almost pushing 400,000 gil now. Like I said, we'll need all of it, but it's good that we've got it, so... okay, so I think I can just stay in Relentless Assault for this part. We'll save. And then we'll confront Mission 16. And once we're done with Mission 16, we'll come back here, we'll save again, and then we'll... quit and reload. That'll respawn the treasures. We'll go hunting for a 3rd time. Hopefully we don't get unlucky. We only have to get not unlucky 1 more time, and then we'll be good. So here's the hunt right here. You can use this rock to kind of hide yourself from them, and I think this frog is the one where if you kind of catch him when his back is turned, you can get a preemptive strike without a Decepticol. So I'll try it. Sometimes he spins around like that, though, so you got to be a little careful because he'll just do a 360 and he'll instantly see you. It's not so great. I'm going to wait for him to turn around again, though. If they do see you, you can walk past the rock like this, and then they'll still see you, but they won't be able to... They only go a certain distance towards the rock, and then they fall back again, so... Alright, he did a little short hop, and usually when he does a short hop, that means he's going to spin, so... Well, maybe not. Yep, okay. So yeah, see how he spun immediately right there, so that means I didn't get a preemptive. So as a result of that, it's not that this would be more difficult without a preemptive strike. I'd just have to use a Sentinel, and like we could use Ruinga instead of Alexander, but the summons don't get to be used enough, so I'm trying to use them a little bit as best I can. So, alright, now. There we go. Oh, that just wasn't a preemptive. Okay, well... It's Kaiser Behemoth all over again. Here we go. If it gets to the point, though, I'll just use a Decepticol. Wow, this is a hell of a spawn point. I don't think I hit that at the right angle. Okay, never mind. We're good. Alright, so you'll notice that the enemies here look a little different from before. That's because these are Cerata Raptors rather than Ceratosaurs. These ones can summon ceratosaurs with courtship dance, like some of the other frogs that we've seen previously. So what I want to do is I just want to toss a couple of Phyras into the crowd of them and have Alexander kind of provoke them all to stabilize the gauge. And then as soon as his Gestalt gauge is maxed, I want to Gestalt with him and then just spam Retributive Blast. So that's the plan. It's full. So stop courtship dancing. Yeah, see, it spawned a little Ceratosaur behind him there. So what it'll do, when Courtship Dance goes off, I believe it spawns 3 Ceratosaurs. I think there's a hard limit to how many enemies can be on the field, though. It's like 10 or something, but they can all use Courtship Dance, which is just a massive pain in the ass to deal with, so we're just going to kind of try to throw these among the whole group. The Ceratosaurs themselves should die without having to hit them with anything other than the Retributive Blasts. Like, Divine Judgment should just kill all of them, I think. Okay, you're good. Do one more. And then Divine Judgment, a go-go. But I don't think they have enough HP to survive a Divine Judgment with D-Protect on, because Retributive Blast gives D-Protect, so... Yeah, especially if that happens.
See you next time.
Bye, Alexander! And yeah, if you get the results screen without him fully leaving the screen, that means you killed everything, so there you go. Nice work, Hope. And again, we could have just done that by having a Sentinel in the middle of the party and just spamming Ruinga until all the Ceratoraptors fell over, but this is more fun. It gives Hope more favor with the Chocobos now, you see, because they all just watched him viciously murder something that was invading on their little territory again, so that works. Did I give the Tetratic Tiara to Fang? I don't think I did. Let me give that to her before I save real quick. Just so I don't forget again. Yeah, I didn't give it to her, so let's replace this with this. So we won't need the General's Belt if we already have the Auto Tetra defense for random battles. We'll give Snow back his General's Belt, and now we're good. We have accessories for the main party for random battles now, and we have accessories for the boss fighting party. So, although I might be switching some things up with the random battle party once we get to Mahabara. We'll see. Nuking frogs is always fun. Yeah, especially nuking them from orbit with a bunch of satellite junk that Alexander just has laying around. That's always fun. I mean, the Divine Judgment's nice, but me just throwing flaming hunks of metal from the atmosphere at enemies, never not fun. Alright, so we'll reload. Like I said, this respawns all 5 of the treasures. On the step, so now we can just get a fresh Chocobo digging hunt in, and as long as the 15th treasure does not spawn behind the paling in the Hairy Archaeopolis, we don't have to dig anymore after this. If we do, well, then I guess I'll just dig one more time, whatever. I mean, I guess maybe you could even reload and it'll randomly reset the treasures. I don't know how it works exactly. I just know that quitting and reloading resets the treasures, so if you've got 0, you can then get 5 again. So, excuse me. I think I ate too much today. That's why I've been burping up a storm this whole damn stream. My apologies for that. I had to go out earlier because my leopard gecko's daylight burned out, and so I had to go get a replacement because I didn't have any replacements. So I just left his nightlight on while I went and got a replacement. While I was out, I went to that burger shop that I always go to, and eating that entire 8-ounce burger with fries, and then eating my dinner at 6 o'clock right before the stream was a lot of food for the day. It's probably more calories than I normally take in a day. Because normally for lunch I eat like a small, like 5-ounce pork chop or a 5-ounce piece of steak and some rice and some veggie, and that's it. So an 8-ounce ground beef burger with a bun and lettuce and cheese and french fries and barbecue sauce is a lot more calories. So it's probably why I've like literally I finished eating dinner though, and I was like, no, I definitely ate too much. I'm so full, like I need to stop. I'm not gonna be able to move pretty soon. So It's good though because the longer that I go, the more it sort of like wears off. So, like the longer that I go without eating anything. I think I'm gonna eat a piece of fruit when I'm done with the stream though, just so that I kind of like stabilize my blood sugar before I go to bed. I usually do that anyway after I finish the stream since I eat dinner a little earlier, but that's okay. It doesn't look like there's anything here, so I guess I'm gonna go around anyway though, just to make sure, and then we'll just go in the counterclockwise direction that I normally go in. And we'll end up back up in the northern section. But yeah, nothing here. There also would be in this little patch of dirt, so I think. Somewhere near there anyway. But again, the suspense is the thing that's going to get us here, because it's going to be the moment of truth pretty soon. We get to see if we're getting cock-blocked by the paling at the Hairy Archaeopolis or not. And again, if we are, I'm just going to go for one more treasure. But, oh, nothing up here this time. Must have said, yeah, you know, he's had it up there a couple of times. Let's put them in different spots now. That's cool. I think there's a cactuar up here now, though. I don't know how the hell he got up here, but good on him, I guess. Just don't run in the exact direction that I'm going, and we'll be fine. I ain't got no beef with you, cactuar. Not yet, anyway. Till you cut me off. Like some speed demon on the highway. Yeah, like these guys. See what I mean? Cutting me off. It's okay, we'll be fine. Take a hit to our morale. But our morale will come back, so it's fine. Okay, there was nothing up there. So let's go to the corner over here, see if there's anything. If there isn't, then that means pretty much everything is heavily concentrated on the northern half of the map, but I don't know, sometimes that happens though, like it's random. It ends up in 5 spots all over the map, and sometimes it just ends up in, it evenly distributes sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't, so. I think if I remember correctly, that treasure that's behind those regular and dire flans over there is a wind charm, I want to say. It's not anything that I particularly care about. It's worth 7,500, but I don't feel like killing all the flans to get to it, so we'll just leave it and let it be. Oh, bye, cactuar. But you can pick it up if you need the extra money. I should be okay on money at the moment, but yeah, if you need it, there you go. I haven't talked about it yet, though, but out of all of the Chocobo themes from the games, the Final Fantasies that we've specifically played for the stream so far, I think 13's is my favorite because, well, Final Fantasy 1 didn't have a Chocobo theme, there were no Chocobos in it, and 14's is, both of 14's are good, but I think they sort of like, we hear them so often when I'm, you know, playing that game that it's kind of difficult for me to say, yeah, I enjoy it, but it's just, you hear it so much, you know, it eventually, I think it gets a little old. Is it over here? Yep, there it is. But that's it, though. We've only played 1, 13, and 14 for the stream so far. We will see more Chocobos in our future, though, because every other Final Fantasy that we'll be playing has Chocobos in it, so. I think that pinch of gold dust sells for like 15,000 gil, so that's not a bad find at all. Kind of rare, but not terribly so. Probably like a 5% chance. Excuse me. Alright, moment of truth. Off to the Hairy Archaeopolis to see if we're going to be digging one more time after this. Again, if we get to the save point over there and there's no exclamation point over my head, we are home free. That means that the other 2 treasures are just somewhere out on the steppe. So, and we'll be able to find them. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's like you run really fast in those valleys, and sometimes you don't. And that's what makes me think it's more likely that it's masking a loading screen than it is that you're getting sucked into a black hole because of the Chocobo's hitbox. Because you're moving a lot faster than you normally would when you're on a Chocobo. And sometimes, because the game doesn't have loading screens unless you're transitioning areas, a large area like this, you'd need to move slower so that it can, you know, like load everything up in the background while you're walking. So I think sometimes they might do that just because that way it can load everything up that's going to be in front of you. Yeah, okay, so you see how there's an exclamation point here even before you get to the thing? That means that the spawn point for the treasure is somewhere inside of the Hairy Archaeopolis there, But, unfortunately, as I said previously, we can't get inside because this mission is currently locked. So that means we're going to have to go digging one more time, unfortunately. But we only have to get one more treasure once we dig up that last one. So, like, we'll just go back to the Mission 17 Seath Stone, and we'll grab that. We'll go look for one more treasure. We'll go do Mission 17, and while we're getting that one more treasure, like, we'll go get the last treasure that we can get for this hunt for now, and then we'll go up to the north section right around where that battle with the 6600 CP battle is, and while we're there, we'll save, we'll reload, and we'll fight that battle, we'll save, we'll reload, we'll take Mission 17, and we'll do it, and we'll get one more treasure while we're hunting around, and then we'll call it a day here for the step. We'll be back on the step for a little while later after this. Like, once we finish the chapter's final boss, there's a few more missions that we'll unlock here, but we'll do all the missions on the way there as well, which is missions 18 through 28 on the way to the final boss there of the chapter. And then missions 29 through 34, I believe, are all either on the step itself, in the Vallis Media or the Yaschas Massif, or in the next dungeon that we go to. So that'll make it a little easier for us to just get them done, you know. Yeah, it's the elevator trick, but a tunnel. Pretty much, yeah. That's basically the gist of it, is like, okay, well, you mask a loading screen with an elevator, like they did in Mass Effect. So, or you mask a loading screen with the flying between planets animations from Ratchet and Clank, something to that effect. You mask the loading screens from Haven City with the lock gates that are in the, you know, on the front of Haven City. So there have been several games before this game came out that did that. It's just that I'm impressed by this game's ability to do it, because for the time, the game's fidelity, graphical fidelity, was very high. So, I don't know, it just impresses me that it... Okay, hi Amphisbina, get the hell out of here. It's a hell of a swoop you did there. Okay, it's down here. That's cool. You know, I may just use the save point right there, honestly, because this is the 5th and final treasure right here that we can get for now. But if I use the save point there and I quit and reload, that will respawn the treasures. So then I can just go up to the corner, get Mission 17, grab a chocobo, find one treasure, do Mission 17, and then we can leave. So. Okay, some Dusklight too. It also has uncompressed audio files on PC, making it a mind-boggling 160 gigs. Oh my god. Sorry, I can't move while this animation's playing. I have to let it play out. It's just too cute. That's an incredible amount of gigs, though. Like, holy shit. Because at the times, games weren't all that big. Yeah, that's, like, way bigger than most. I mean, even nowadays, like, you get... Even with those day one patches that some games have, most games aren't that file size. Like, that's a hell of a lot of gigs. So... Thank you, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar as well. Alright, so we'll save here. Probably sell off our loot as well. Let me get lightning back in the front slot as well. Just so that way that's taken care of. We can... I won't put aggression on just yet, because we'll probably have to fight a couple of things on our way to where we're going as well. And we'll pick up Mission 17, which actually Mission 17, if I remember correctly, is like right here somewhere. So not particularly hard. It's another one of those... It's like the Pulseworks soldiers that we fought previously, but it's an upgraded palette swap version, basically. So... We'll work on that when we get there. Let's see. Keep the fluffy wool. Dusklight dew. Keep the chocobo plumes. Get rid of the millerite and the rhodochrosite. Keep the cobaltite, because that is actually used to upgrade the clay rings, and we need 3 of them to upgrade the clay rings. We actually also need 3 more uraninite as well in order to upgrade the clay rings in their second tier, which is the siltstone ring, if I remember right. But excuse me, there's actually 2 missions later on that give us uraninite for free, and we'll get one from a treasure chest in a dungeon coming up. So that's we'll get enough to actually use this one on Vanille's Belladonna wand to make it the Malboro wand, and then we'll have enough still to get the clay rings fully maxed out. So, and we're over 418,000 gil. Perfect. We're gonna get another small infusion of money as well once we dig up the 15th treasure, because it's it sells for quite a bit of money. So So you want to play it again, but you only own it on PC, and so like, no, yeah, no, I can't really blame you on that part because that's a lot to, you know, it's a lot to install on your PC, and it kind of also depends on whether your PC, I mean, I'm sure your PC is strong enough to handle playing it, but it's a lot to install on your PC, you know what I mean? Especially if you've already got other games installed, so it's understandable. I'd like to, you know what I'd like to see for Mass Effect, though, because they have the Legendary Edition now. But one of my favorite mods that I used to use for Mass Effect 3 was a mod that lets you put the multiplayer powers from, like, Mass Effect 3's old multiplayer campaign and stick them into single player so that you can use them on Shepard themselves. That was always a lot of fun for me because those powers are so much fun to just mess around with. And you just move a file, if I remember correctly. It wasn't too hard to move them around. I don't think those can exist in the Legendary Edition, though, because I don't think the multiplayer is in the Legendary Edition. So if it's not, like, if you can't play the multiplayer, I don't think they'd include the files in there, which is a shame because I really like using the Quarian Marksman's tactical scan to just basically give all the enemies trick attack that are right in front of me and then just blow them all up. But, well, if I can't do it in the Legendary Edition, when I eventually do a playthrough of the Mass Effect trilogy for the stream, it's one of the major contributing factors to whether I decide to play the Legendary Edition or just the normal edition, because that mod changes so much of Mass Effect 3 for me that it may force me to say, no, I have to play the regular version because I can custom build a Shepard with different powers than what you get in the regular game. But it's a debate that I have with myself over and over again whenever I think about playing it, so I don't know if I'm going to do it yet or not. We're going to have to figure that part out. But, yeah, no, I should see if there was, like, if they figured out a way to, I don't know, have that in the Legendary Edition, because that'd be cool as hell, because then I could play the higher fidelity version. I'm not on aggression again. I'm just talking my whole face off instead of actually doing what I'm supposed to do here. There we go. We're fine. Now I just gotta launch him again when he hits the ground. Do that. Let Hope keep him up in the air. And then off I go again. Alright, there we go. Now we're good. Man, Hope's on fire, literally. Hope, we need to put that out. Just turned 90 degrees and just instantly fried that thing. And then, of course, Fang, being Fang, she can't just not send them to the moon when she sees the wolves down here. When they ask where the wild wolves have gone on Pulse, we're going to have to tell them that we sent them to Cocoon, because good lord, man, at this point there's a small family of dogs up there. Oh boy. A lot of the old mods are compatible with Legendary Edition. You think data miners got real mad about the fact that the multiplayer files were there and the station from ME1 was a thing in the files, so it might still function? Okay. Well, maybe I'll mess around with it. You never know. I've got a little bit of, like, modding experience. I've never made a mod, but I've done some modding of games, of mostly Skyrim, but I've done some game modding previously, so maybe I'll just tinker with it and see if it works. It'd be awesome if it does. Although I'd kind of have to come up with a justification for Shepard's powers changing completely for Mass Effect 3 from Mass Effect 2, huh? I'll figure it out. It's fine. Anyway, here's Mission 17, the final mission on the step that we'll do for now. A Widow's Wrath. A Pulsework champion that had been working the Mahabara Subterra, hey, that's the next dungeon, has gone haywire and now is raising chaos on the stepp's northern high plain. It is my focus to see the automaton deactivated, a duty which I undertake not only at the Fal'Cie's behest, but for my husband, whom the accursed machine butchered. By all that is sacred, I will not rest until I have torn it washer from bolt. Well, that's a hell of a bit of vengeance. It's not a wonder your stone lives on in death. Good lord. How many CP do we have anyway? Oh, we're rocking 230,000 for basically everybody. Nice. It's not quite enough to buy all of the secondary roles that I want, because really, if I want to get all the secondary roles, I have to get Snow to, like, Saboteur rank 6, but I have finalized all of the secondary roles that I want to use, although the vast majority of them I'll probably only use in, like, 1 or 2 battles over the course of the whole game, so Okay, I was kind of hoping I'd see an exclamation point immediately, but that's okay. 2 and 3 are just repackages with some bug fixes and some other small things like DLC included. Only ME1 is actually a remake for the Legendary, and even then that wasn't really that big of one. Yeah, because they changed the combat around in ME1 for the Legendary Edition, if I remember correctly, because they wanted it to function a little bit more like Mass Effect 3's combat. Or maybe the better way of putting it would be Mass Effect Andromeda's combat, because I think all the powers are still have individual cooldowns in ME1, even though they redid it. So anyway, here's the 15th treasure. Did I not dig up the 15th treasure? I didn't. That was the 14th treasure. Well, that's my bad. I thought I got enough, but apparently I did not. Alright, well, let's go find another treasure then, since we're supposed to get a treasure chest from that if it was the 15th treasure, basically, so that's how I know it wasn't. It shouldn't show up as a little hole in the ground like that if it's the one that I'm looking for. So we need to find 2 treasures. That's okay. I'll just use this as an opportunity to go get them, and then I'll head up to where the Pulsework Champion is, which is right over there. Alright, so that's not bad. Should be plenty of different locations, though, around the steppe where the treasures are located, so it shouldn't be too hard to find one more anyway. I say that now, but it's gonna be... I mean, obviously it's gonna be in the last place I look, but, like, how far away is the last place I look, right? We'll see. No, it's not up here, or we'd see it already. Let's go check the other plateaus. Not going to check the Font of Namva because the Font of Namva itself is... You wouldn't see the exclamation point for it unless you were like halfway or probably more than halfway through that tunnel, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Anything in our favorite spot up here? No? Okay, cool. At least we know that one real quick. And they mostly focused on changing the gunplay for one, so that it was less of a jarring thing to move from it to 2 and 3. Yeah, that's true, because it was definitely quite different in ME1 compared to ME2 and 3. So I think since they were making it all on the same trilogy, I feel like making them all feel more coherent with each other made a lot of sense. So I don't know. I haven't played ME1 with the changes personally, although my brother did, and he was never a big fan of ME1 when he played it, so he said no, the gunplay changes were fantastic and they made me actually enjoy ME1 because then I could enjoy the story without having to play through the game with the terrible gunplay. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I was never really, like, I never minded the gunplay in ME1. It was never like something that bothered me because you could micromanage it to make it. It just felt more like an RPG, that was all. So you just, you know, micromanage your equipment, and there you go.
What's this?
So this is our 15th treasure that we've dug up from digging, and it's an Entite ring, so that's worth a cool 60,000 gil by itself, and that's why we wanted to dig it up, just to pad our pocketbook a little bit more before we head out, and pretty soon we'll have to buy ultra-compact reactors, so might as well pad the pocketbook now, because there's a storm coming. Get your ponchos ready. A storm of money. I'm gonna be gill-tossing the shops pretty soon. Alright, let's go find the Pulsework Champion. I could walk there, I guess, because I don't think we've ever just walked directly across the steppe like this, although it's pretty, like, quiet, honestly. There's only like 3 or 4 battles between all the way back there and this way, so if you end up wandering in this direction, probably the worst thing that you'll run into is that Amphisbena if you walk too far in one direction, but, well, I didn't, so... Alright, there's our mark. So let's dismount. And we'll set our party up for this one. Who do I want for this one? Probably Fang and Vanille, because, I mean, I guess really it's just Vanille, honestly, because I can get D-Protect and D-Shell on the guy. But who else do I want to take with me besides them? I guess I could bring Saz, Fang, and Vanille. Or I could just bring Saz, Snow, and Vanille. Like, I could have Vanille get D-Protect and D-Shell. And, I can have Saz be a synergist so he can get, like, haste and vigilance and bravery and all that stuff. Probably get in Thunder. Yeah, I'd probably get in Thunder, honestly, on everybody as well, just so that way I've got something to do. So let's do Sin Sen Sab. And we'll put Sin Sen Med as well. There we go. And then we'll do... I don't think we'll really need too much in terms of this. You know what we'll do is we'll do Rav, Sab, actually, as well. And maybe I'll start there and I'll try to get a preemptive strike, and if I can't, I'll just go to Sin Sen Sab immediately. Because if we get a preemptive strike, we can get D-Protect and D-Shell on him, and then we can just go from there, you know. So, you can go Commando, you can go Ravager. And then, do I need anything else here? No, I don't think so. I think this should be a good enough set, honestly, to do this fight. So I think we'll just do that. Just trying to think if I want to bring along Saz or if I want to bring Fang instead. Because I don't think we really need the buffs all that badly, to be honest. I think all we need really is just to get the debuffs on him, and then that's enough. So maybe I'll just stick with this party. We'll see if it works out. It should be fine. I mean, 1 was fine, especially for the time, but replaying 1, 2, and then 3 can be slightly rough. Playing 1 and then having those few years of time till 2 made it not hit that hard. Yeah, and that's true as well, because, like, you know, then you've got less time to worry about it. Like, okay, well, the combat system is so different, so jarring from what it was, and it's like, okay, now you don't have to worry about that as much, you know. The reason why I was going to bring Fang is because I think, if I remember correctly, he's vulnerable to Slow or Curse or something like that, but I don't quite remember what he's vulnerable to, so since I don't, I guess we'll just do this and go pre-med. Haste and Bravery for Saz when I get up. Alright, we'll give that to Snow as well. We'll give Faith and Haste to Vanille. And honestly, I don't feel like we need to do a whole lot else. I don't think he's susceptible to Imperil, so I think we'll just go, honestly. Oh, we have D-Shell on him. Let's see if she can get D-Protect once he gets this going. And then we'll go to Relentless Assault, so we can do more with his gauge. Oh, he can get Imperil. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. Oh, I'm the commando here. Alright, cool. Let's go Aggression. Yeah, I'll keep doing that, honestly, because he'll be dead in a second. Don't really got to go too ham-fisted with it, you know. He's going to be dead that fast. Alright, well, that's cool. Nice and simple mission to be the last one that we'll do. We get 3 perfect conductors for beating him, which sell for 800 each. And I'll probably sell them, just because. By the way, there's another mission that popped up over here, where all those wolves are settled on this little cliff there. It popped up in the interim since we got that cutscene with the Cactuar, because it's actually Mission 54, which has you fighting, well, a Cactuar, but not a normal Cactuar. That being said, we just finished Mission 17, and that's Mission 54. So I probably wouldn't recommend doing that one just yet, because I'm pretty sure at the moment we're not strong enough to do anything remotely resembling that mission. It hits really hard. We'll just say it that way. It hits really hard, and it hits really fast. And it's like every other Cactuar, because it's susceptible to daze, but like... good lord, man. Yeah, Senor Sabatender? Something like that, yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, no, we're not ready for anything remotely resembling that. We can beat regular Cactuars at the moment, but like it's a struggle. So if we have to beat anything bigger than a normal Cactuar at the moment, I'm pretty sure we're screwed. So since that's the case, we'll just excuse me, live and let live. Unfortunately, unlike Senor Sabatender, that one's not full of hot air. So, do I fight the behemoth? No, I don't think I do. I think I'll just grab the CP on the way. Okay, well, I guess if you want to fight, I'll fight. Why not? If you're going to turn around and be like, okay, fuck you specifically, then yeah, I guess I'll fight, but... Whoops. There we go. Load up.
Time for another approach.
Switch up.
You look at me.
No, at the moment, okay, now he's looking at you, but he was not for a minute. I was actually thinking about it, and I still think that Fang is still the better Sentinel at the moment because she doesn't have Entrench and Vendetta, but honestly, Entrench and Vendetta might work okay for Snow because what they do is they let him move away from the party because, you know, if it's like Saz and Vanille, they either stay in place, Vanille stays in the same place when she casts, or in Saz's case, when he casts as a Ravager, if he attacks as a commando, he moves backwards. So, as a result of them moving backwards or staying in the same place, if Snow moves forward when he uses Entrench or Vendetta to do his counterattack, it might actually work kind of okay. I don't think it's optimal still, but it's probably not as bad as I made it sound like it was. What are we at here? 619, 631. I'll go with aggression. There we go. Send him up into the sky. We'll let Fang come up once she gets up off the ground. Yeah, Fang, whenever you're ready. There you go. My turn. And that's GG. Like I said, nothing to that fight. Once you know the tack, it's like, okay, I got it down, you know. I'm just gonna leave the Cactuar. He's fine. Not gonna bother him, because he's not bothering me. Okay, we'll do this mission one last time. And like I said, now we actually have the Waystone active over here, so we can teleport back to the step at any point in time once we go to a different section and get a different Waystone in another area. I'm not on aggression again. I'm really messing up this tack, huh, today? That's okay. Alright. I'll let him go up. Let Hope juggle him a little bit. He'll come back down. I'll launch him again. And that takes care of that. Off to Relentless Assault. Again, Hope just pivoted 90 degrees to massacre that guy. It's funny.
And I was just getting started.
And that's the end of our CP grind, quote unquote. There's no grind involved because I only came back here whenever I was in the area to fight them, but I guess you could consider it a grind. I mean, look at how much CP we have going forward. Like I said, I still don't think that's enough to buy everything that I want to get for the secondary roles, but it'll put a dent in the vast majority of them, that's for sure.
There's a way through here.
Thanks, Snow. We would have seen that in about 60 seconds when we walked forward to where we were going. But yeah, as you can see here, we've done all of the first 17 missions. They're all over the steppe. There's a couple more. Obviously, we've still got the whole Circle of Seath that hasn't unlocked. We've got the Paling Stone over there that we haven't unlocked. We've got Senor Sabbatender over here. But yeah, we've done all the ones that are available that I think are feasible to do at the moment. I don't think Mission 54 is doable at the moment without a very severe amount of grinding, or I'd have to look up like the no Crystarium upgrade, no equipment usage challenge run version of that fight, because that one would probably be the one to look up if you're trying to do that fight low level. But you definitely need to do some secondary role development in order to get that one, I think. I don't think it's possible to do without either getting tier 2 weapons that are fully starred or upgrading into the secondary roles a little bit so that you have access to like days and a whole bunch of other stuff on the correct characters. But anyway, that's it. We're done on the Archeoled Steppe for
Looks
now.
like a great place for enemy ambushes.
Yeah, we better watch for that. It's a good thing there's a save point right here, so we can just make good use of that. So let's make good use of that. We'll sell off all of the extra goodies that we got, although we didn't get too many, but we got enough to put another chunk into our wallet right here. There we go. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the N-Tight ring as an accessory. It sounds good on paper because it resists a bunch of different elements, but you have bar spells for 4 out of the 6 elements, and if you need the clay rings, you can just use those. I don't think you ever need the Zephyr rings. Like, enemies will cast Aeroga, but beyond this point, I don't think Aeroga is a particular problem anymore, so yeah, I'm not really too concerned about it. Oh, we got a Cobaltite at some point here, too, so we actually have all 3 that we need now for the, whatchamacallit, for the clay rings, so now we can just, any more Cobaltite that we get, and I think we'll get a couple from missions that we're going to do, we can just sell it, so, and we've almost got 500,000 gil as well, so that's pretty good. Okay, so with that, I don't think we have anything else to upgrade. I don't think we have anything to dismantle. We could upgrade the weapons, but we don't have all the materials I want to do that yet. Again, we need to buy superconductors before we do that, so... Excuse me. And we're almost to the point where we can buy them. We just need to get a little further into this dungeon, but... We'll do that once we move forward. Before we move forward, though, let's spend all this CP that we banked. Alright, so here's how we're going to do this. So I'm going to do a little bit of secondary role development first. The reason for it is because these don't give a lot of stat bonuses, which means they won't have a massive impact on our target time. And I think that should be a little helpful. That being said, there isn't really a ton of secondary role development that needs to be done for some of the characters. Some of them have less to do than others, so I will attempt to do that. With Lightning, she's kind of good at basically anything else you have her do. The only part that I know I'd like to have her have fully developed is Sentinel up to level 3. And I really only have any plan to use that once, and there's a reason for it. We've seen one type of Sentinel so far in the game, and that's a Sentinel that can guard from attacks, reducing damage while taking attacks and then countering sometimes if they use a counter skill. Lightning is a different kind of Sentinel. She gets access to Provoke, obviously, because it's a Sentinel, so of course she does. She gets Evade right here, but then instead of getting Steel Guard or Meta Guard, she gets the Elude ability. And what this does is it has her defend, and instead of physical attacks hitting her for reduced damage, she'll just dodge out of the way of them while she's eluding. It's kind of an interesting way to play a Sentinel, and there are some bosses that this just absolutely annihilates. Like one particular mission with an Undying, Elude makes it so much simpler to fight that guy because Lightning basically never gets hit, especially if you give her the Nimble Toe Boots accessory, which we'll probably buy at one point or another, and we'll just upgrade it all the way. But that's the only one that I know I'd like to use, so I think I'd also like to have her go into Saboteur, so maybe we'll work on that too. But I know I'm going to use this once just to meme it up with it, so let's buy this all the way first. To elude, just to have it. But basically with Lightning, I think I want her to go up to Sen 3 and Sab 4, because at Sab 4 she'll get access to Deprotect, D-Shell, and Imperil. I don't know how much I'll actually use those, but we shouldn't need Poison if she's going to be in the random battle party for the rest of the game, so I think that should be good in terms of her secondary development. I don't think we'll need anything else. But do I want to buy that now? I don't know if I'll have enough to get the Sab 4. Let's see, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21, 27, 33, 39, 45, 57, 66, 75, 84, 93, 102, 114, 126. Yeah, she wouldn't quite get to Imperil, so she'd be close, but not quite there. Although, to be fair, once she got there, she'd be done with her secondary role development, and then we could start working on the other role development from there for the rest of the game. The more secondary role development you do, the less likely you are to max out at stage 9 once you get to the end game, though, at least unless you're going to do a little bit of grinding, which I suppose you could do in the end game, but Whatever. If you choose to have her be a synergist, by the way, she's a pretty good synergist as well. Like I said, she's pretty good at basically anything you have her do. She's kind of like a red mage. She's a jack of all trades, but the only one that I would consider her to be a master of, well, I guess Commando with the Axis Blade because of Ruinga. But she's more, Ravager is her best role, I think. But she's pretty good at everything else. She gets Bravery and Faith very early into the synergist tree, because she's got to compete with Fang, getting Bravera and Faithra. She gets in Thunder, and then I think she also gets in Fire and Frost and Water before the end of the thing. Yeah, there you go. And if it keeps going, she gets Protect. She probably gets Shell here. She doesn't get Boon at the moment, although she might get it later. But I don't need her to be a synergist, because if she's going to be in the random battle party, we don't really need synergists because we've got auto Tetra Defense and auto Bravery or auto Faith. So instead of that, I think I'll just have her go Sen and Sab. So I guess we'll just level this up a little bit. The thing that you're going to notice is that Lightning is one of the ones that has the most intensive CP use for her secondary roles. And again, I'm not even sure how much I'll actually use Saboteur, but I'll probably make her the Saboteur in the Smart Bomb configuration for the new party I'm going to put together here. So in a minute. Because we're not just going to use Lightning Fang and Hope at this point in time. We've got somebody else that we're going to use. All right, so that's as far as you can go levels-wise. You need 12, 24, 36, 48, 72 in order to get Imperil. Let me see if... Because I didn't buy the stuff that I wanted to buy here, so maybe I'll buy this stuff as well. What can I get here? I can get Flame Strike and Frost Strike finally, so let me grab those real quick before I... go any further, because we still have to buy all of the secondary stuff for everybody, so we're gonna do that too. While I'm thinking about that, let me go over to Snow next, because I know what I'm gonna do with Snow's secondary stuff. The only role in particular that I care about having Snow do, he's a pretty decent synergist as well. He gets Veil and... does he get Veil? No, he gets Vigilance, Protect, and Shell pretty early, so that kind of makes him a good complement to Hope, if you're gonna have him do that, although Hope can already cast Protect and Shell, he just can't cast Vigilance, but... I mean, he's got quick casting speed, Snow does, so any of these other roles he'll be pretty good at because he can just cast really quickly. I'm a bigger fan of him being a Saboteur because he's kind of the complement to Lightning Saboteur. He doesn't get Deep Protect, D-Shell, Imperil, or Poison, but he gets Slow, Pain, Fog, Curse, and Daze instead. And if you level him to Saboteur level 4, he gets Jinx. And it's probably the earliest anybody gets Jinx. Like, Fang doesn't even get this until stage 8. I think Vanille gets it in, like, stage 6 or something, but Snow gets it at stage 4 here, which is pretty great. Then you want to, if you keep going with him, you get Daze, and then if you go all the way to here, at stage 6, you'll get Slow. I think Slow is actually not well placed for Snow here. It's one of the only parts of the Crystarium where I'm like, no, they needed to give that to him earlier. Because as it stands, Fang has pretty much exclusive access to to Slow. Snow doesn't get it till stage 6. Saz gets Slow, but he doesn't get it until like stage 9 or 10 or something like that. And I don't think anybody else gets Slow. I think Hope might get Slow Ga, but he doesn't get it until way late either. So from basically the beginning of the game, Fang is the definitive debilitating Saboteur, just because she gets Slow so early, and Slow is so universally useful against lots of enemies. So I don't know, it seems like they should have put that somewhere else. Like, probably I would have put it where Jinx is, and then give him Jinx at stage 6 instead, because Jinx is nice, but like, oh yeah, I got to do his Commando before I do this, because I didn't buy Blitz and all that stuff for him, so let's buy that first. In case it wasn't clear based on the fact that I'm buying this stuff as well, I'm going to actually make Snow my in my random battles party. I'm going to stick him in there instead of Fang. I'm going to put Fang in the boss battles party, because her and Vanille having access to improved debuff accuracy makes them really solid for fighting bosses. So we're going to get him Ravage. This is Jeopardize. Yeah, that's good. So we'll get him that. And now that he has that, let's go back to Saboteur, and we can keep leveling this. If this gets to stage 4, I think we can get it maxed at stage 4 at the moment, but I don't think we can go any further for a little bit. So, but having access to Pain and Fog will be nice. There might be some enemies where that's pretty useful. I can't think of any off the top of my head right here, but in this area, but we'll get there. Alright, so he's going to be just shy of getting Jinx at the moment, so 24,000, and he'll be done with that, but he needs to go all the way up from there, so 15, 30, 45, 60, 90, 18, 36, 54, 72, 108. So he needs 198,000 plus 24,000. So he needs 222,000 in order to get Saboteur to level 6. Once you get him there, you can stop, because after that he gets the Ga spells. So he'll get like Curse Ga, Daze Ga. I think he'll get Curse Ga and Daze Ga. I think he might get Pain Ga and Fog Ga and Slow Ga. I don't know. I think he only gets 4 of them because there's only 4 stages after that. But he gets the Ga spells after that, and those I'm not really a big fan of because they have lower base accuracy anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't bother with that. Who else? Saz, I think, is the next one I want to do because he's probably the third and final character out of all of them where the secondary role development is a little more intensive. The main thing with Saz is that he's pretty good for a technique that you can use to farm money and CP later in the game. And the main way that you want to do it is by getting him up to Saboteur rank 4. When you get him to Saboteur rank 4, because his early levels of Saboteur are the same as Lightning's, he gets Deprotect, D-Shell, a bunch of stat boosts here, and then Imperil. And you want Deprotect, D-Shell, and Imperil on Saz so that he can be at maximum utility for the grind method. So we'll just grab that for him real quick, and then that's done basically for him. I'm trying to think if I want to grab him... I think I might want to grab him Medic level 1 as well. Just because it's pretty cheap. It's only like 21,000 or something like that, I think. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21, yeah. Not that I want him to use Cure necessarily, but if you are in a situation where you're in a boss fight and you need to do a lot of healing, the more medics you have in the party, the more healing you'll do. And I'm pretty sure the medic passive that gives you more healing, the more medics you have, also affects Renew. So if worst comes to worst, I can just have him use Renew instead of actually using the other stuff. So I'm going to level medic to level 1 for him. I might also do Sentinel level 1, honestly, because just getting Sentinel to level 1 for 3 characters, if you're going to have them fight bosses, allows you to use the Tortoise paradigm, which minimizes the amount of damage you'll take from really big attacks from bosses going forward. And that can be pretty useful for boss killing, but I don't know if we'll need it going forward here. So, but to be fair, I'm planning on doing it for Vanille as well, so what the hell, right? Might as well do it. Use up this CP. I'm not really worried about our primary roles. We should be able to get to the end of Stage 8 by the time we're done in Chapter 11, so... We'll unlock Stage 9 by the time we fight the final boss of Chapter 11, but we'll have some time to work on that afterwards. So you've got everything here already, don't you? You got your accessory. Okay, let's just move forward with this then. And get you closer to... Oh, you can buy the next one. Get you closer to the roll level here so that you're in good shape. But I think that's all of Saz's secondary development, right? Yeah, Sentinel's level 1. Saboteurs, or rather Stage 1. Saboteurs at Stage 4 and Medics at Stage 1. So he's done. He just needs to do primary roles for the rest of the game now, so all that CP we got was worth it. Alright, now for the ones that need less CP. So Fang already has some really solid roles as, Commando, Sentinel, and Saboteur. Those are pretty good for her no matter what. And she's pretty good at basically everything she does. Her Medic role is pretty shitty, but honestly, if it was good... Like, she'd be the best character in the game without question, rather than, being the best character debatably. If she got, better medic stuff. Like, if she got Cura earlier, she'd probably be just the best character in the game, hands down, because everything else is great for her. Her Synergist is probably one of the best. She gets Veil early, which is nice, but the real big prizes for her are Bravera and Faithra, which you get at Stage 2 and Stage 3. These raise your stats by 80%. Instead of 40%, but they only last half as long, which is okay because that still means they last I want to say 40 seconds if I remember correctly, because I think the original ones Bravery and Faith last 80, so that's still not bad. That's usually almost one full stagger, so if you get this off right as you're staggering somebody, then they'll inflict really solid damage going forward, but I don't personally need Bravera and Faithra, and she'll get Protectora and Shellra going forward, which are similar to Bravera and Faithra, except they're defensive instead of offensive. So But yeah, she's a really good synergist. If you're planning on min-maxing stuff, this is probably the role that you'll want to take her up, because she also gets haste. And she's, other than Hope gets it, but he doesn't get it till stage 9, and Saz gets it. But I think, I'm trying to remember if anybody else gets haste. Probably Lightning does. But yeah, I would definitely take Fang up synergist if you're planning on using her for anything that's like really end game boss killing potential. That's probably one of her best roles. I always recommend bringing Fang up Ravager to level 3, because at level 3 as a Ravager, she's actually a really good Ravager because she gets all the basic level spells by the time you get through level 3. She'll get Fire, Thunder, Water, Arrow, and Blizzard. And she's not bad. She's got a good casting speed. She's got good magic. So she works pretty well as a Ravager in most departments here. I wouldn't go past rank 3, though, because past rank 3 is where she gets the strike abilities. So she'll get Spark Strike, Flame Strike, Frost Strike, and Aqua Strike. And that's good, but it sometimes messes with the AI, because then they'll prioritize using those when you switch her to Ravager instead of just using the spells. And most of the time when I want her to be a Ravager, I just want her to use the spells. She'll get Thundara, Blizzara, Watera, Fyra, and I think Aurora as well before she's done here. Yeah. So she's a pretty damn good Ravager, considering it's not a primary role for her. But usually I just go up to stage 3 with it. And I'm actually going to use Medic stage 1 for her as well. Even though it's a really bad role for her, it's the worst role by far, let's just get stage 1 done. And then she's done with her secondary role development for the entire game. She's got access to Cure, so now if we're going to use her in boss fights with Saz and Vanille, they have access to, well, 5 out of the 6 roles anyway, but the main ones you want to make sure they have access to are Sentinel and Medic, so they can tank damage and then heal it off afterwards. Then you can have a Sen paradigm, a Med paradigm. You'll heal all that damage off very quickly, and you won't take as much in the process either. So that's the gist of it. Where was I having you go? I think I was having you go in Saboteur for a little bit. Did I get Painga? I did. Yeah, okay. So let's get this real quick, and then we'll go get Daze is the next one she gets, and we'll just spend the rest of this CP. So since she needed to do less secondary development than most everybody else, she gets to actually continue working on her Crystarium in her primary roles, which is nice. I mean, Saz got to do a little bit, but not nearly this much, so. Now the real question, do I want her to get De-Protect and De-Shell? Because the AI has a tendency to prioritize those over Slow and Curse and all that, so I'm not sure. So I think instead of that, I'm going to buy this HP node, and then I'll think about it, and we'll see what I end up choosing if I choose to do that. Because De-Protect and De-Shell for Fang, she isn't as good at casting them as Vanille is, because Vanille just gets that passive boost from the Belladonna wand and the Malboro wand that she can use to increase the accuracy of her De-Protect and De-Shells. Fang gets the increase in accuracy, but only for like Slow, Curse, Daze, Pain, and Fog. So we'll do Vanille's next. She's already got Medic, so she only needs to get Sentinel level 1, so she has access to that for the Tortoise paradigm. And I think, let me see here. Yeah, we're going to do Sentinel level 1 for her, so we'll just get that out of the way real quick. She has one of the cheapest amounts of secondary development out of anybody. Hope has that in spades, to be fair, but we'll talk about Hope in just a minute. So, and I'm actually going to have her level Synergist as well. So I only want it to go to level 2, but you'll see why in just a moment. So if we go a little further here, we can see that she gets Vigilance at stage 1. So that's nice, because then she can fill out that gap in Hope's defenses with his synergy spells. But she also gets Veil at stage 2. Now that means that she can cast Veil and Vigilance, and if you just stay at stage 2, she'll just give that to everyone in your party, and that's 2 less spells that I have to think about casting as a synergist. So leveling her just to stage 2, and have her use those in the beginning of a boss fight, it's really nice. It's very helpful. Going forward, she'll get some bar spells. So she'll get Bar Water, Bar Frost, Bar Thunder, Bar Fire. And then I believe later on down the line here, she'll get access to, is it Protectra and Shellra here? She gets Boon there, so that's not bad either. Yeah, she gets Protectra and Shellra first. Okay, she only gets Protectra. Eventually she gets Shellra, and I think Bravera and Faithra as well. But those aren't anything that I particularly need to worry about. Now, do I want her to go to Commando level 1? There's this stupid meme thing that I could do in the one boss fight that I'm going to have Lightning use Sentinel level 3, where I actually have Vanille doing physical attacks. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough party slots to do that. Basically, the boss is only physically, it only attacks physically, basically. So Lightning can elude and just dodge all of its attacks. And then it's susceptible to D-Protect, and it's weak to elements, so you can get D-Protect on it with Vanille. You can get an N Fire, N Water, N Thunder, N Frost, whatever you want with somebody else, and then just go nuts by attacking them with 3 commandos. And I might consider doing that. Because I could use a party of Lightning, Saz, Vanille, and that would let me get Vigilance, Veil, Haste or Bravery, and in Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, whatever on them, while Vanille gets Deep Protect, and then we can all just go, and Vanille can go fishing again. What the hell? Why not? Let's level up Commando to level 1 so she can use her fishing rod like a fishing rod finally. Vanille's Commando is weird, though, because she doesn't actually get access to Ruin, despite being primarily a magic caster, until the end of Stage 2, so you have to spend 57,000 CP just to get her Ruin. It's kind of bizarre. I don't know why they did that, but I'll do just attack for the memes. Why not? Alright, so I think we were leveling Ravager with her, other than that. So now we got 149,000 CP to burn on Ravager, so let's do that. I don't think we'll quite get to full, but we'll get pretty close. So, there's Blizzaga for her. And, yeah, we'll be close. We might get there. Yeah, we'll get there, actually, because that's 10, 20, that's 8, 16, 26. So she'll get her 4th roll level in Ravager real quick. Then we can start working on probably Medic from here. Yeah, I think I want to work on Medic from here, because she got the ATB level. We didn't get Curasa, so we probably want to work on getting Curasa first. And then once we get Curasa, we can move forward. And eventually, on this same stage, she'll get access to Curaja, which is it's like Cura, except it's the way that Curasa works is it restores more HP the lower your HP is when she heals you. And Curaja is the same way, except it's an AoE, so the lower the party's HP is, the more it heals. And generally speaking, if you switch to Medic, when most people do, which is when the screen starts blinking red and telling you, critical HP, heal quickly, that's when Curaja is most effective. So there you go. We get these, and then Curaja is over here, almost at the end of the roll, and then she'll be done with Medic as well. And then as for Hope, Hope is the one that needs the least amount of secondary development, in my opinion, because he just... Ravager, Synergist, and Medic, you really only ever need him to do Ravager and Medic, at least the way that I have him, the way that I'm going to be playing with him, where he's basically just going to be in the main party where we just do random battles with him for the entire game, because he is an incredible Ravager. He's easily the best Ravager in the game, in my opinion. He gets all the tier 3 spells, his magic stat is massive. He gets a weapon that gives him a more massive magic stat to play with, so he really doesn't need a whole lot. I wouldn't recommend Sentinel, although I think he's similar to Lightning as a Sentinel, where he gets Elude, if I remember correctly. Let's see. There's Evade. Okay, he gets Entrench first, so that's even worse, actually, so definitely don't take him up here. There's Elude, but the AI, I don't think the AI prioritizes Elude if it has Entrench, so you'd have to control him, and, well, controlling a Sentinel is never very much fun, so... But I do want to level him up in Saboteur a little bit, so let's level him up in Saboteur a little bit. Do I want to take him to 4, or do I want to just take him to 2? I think I want to take him to 4, actually. So we're going to take him to 4. So I guess he needs a little more development than I was making it sound like, but if I was just going to take him to rank 2 in Saboteur, that would be it, because this is all you need in order to do the grinding strat that you can do in Chapter 13, is just get D. Shelga for him, and then the grinding strat is very consistent. But I'll take him all the way to 4, just because he gets Dispel there, and that would mean between him, Snow, and Lightning, they'd have access to every Saboteur spell in the game if we did that, so I'll just take him up there so he's almost done. Am I going to buy Commando stuff for him as well? I'm trying to think. I think I might buy him Commando level 1, yeah, because he gets Ruin and Attack on stage 1 of Commando, so buying this for him should be, I mean, it's 24,000 CP, so it's not very much. So let's just buy that for him, why not? Get it out of the way. There's only one situation where I can think where I would actually have him use Commando, but hey, it might come in handy anyway. So, and now we can finally buy him Thundaga. There we go. And now we got to move forward. We can get Waterga going forward as well. We can also get him Vigor very soon, so we'll keep that in mind. Do I want Waterga or do I want Vigor first? I don't think I can get Vigor, because that's... Okay, 6, 8, so that's 14, 24. Oh, we can just get Vigor. Okay, well, let's grab it, and then we'll come back for Waterga. Because this will increase his damage by 20%, or his chain bonus effect by 20% when his HP is high. So that's very nice for him. And I think that's it. Everybody's been leveled. All the CP has been used. So now we should be good to go. But as a result of our secondary development... Well, first of all, Lightning and Hope have the same HP, so that's kind of funny. But second of all, we're actually going to change around our main battle party. We're going to have Lightning, Snow, and Hope be the random battles party now. Because, I don't know. I think it just works a little bit better, honestly, because then Fang can be in the boss fighting party, where her debuffs come in the most handy, and she's got a weapon. I've got her on the, whatchamacallit, so the Pandoran Spear, so I might as well have her take advantage of it in the place where debuffs are the most useful, right? Now, I'm not sure if I want Lightning or Snow to be the Saboteur here, so I'm just going to have Lightning do it first, and then we'll switch it up if we have to later. But for now, I'll just have her do it. Okay, but since that's the case, let's take the General's Belt and Witch's Bracelets off of Snow. We'll give him the Morale Talisman and the Tetratic Tiara. We'll give Fang the General Belt and Witch's Bracelets. And then we are good to go. All right, there it is. So now, let's see, we got about 15 minutes. I should be able to do what I want to go do. So let's just save, and then we'll move forward. I haven't saved since 9 o'clock. Holy hell. I've been doing a lot.
I don't like the air here.
Well, yeah, it smells like a factory. Probably because there's a whole bunch of junk all over the place. Anyway, if you're getting flashbacks of the Vile Peaks, that's normal, because this place really reminds me of the Vile Peaks, so... Now, Snow, being, well, Snow, he is very fast with his Blitz. It's a very quick cast of Blitz, as you may have seen. And, well, Hope, he has Thundaga now, so you can imagine how that's going to do for us. But, yeah, other than that, these guys are weak to electricity. Just zap them. Should have them in just a moment. Snow doesn't have to use Ruin every time, but that's fine. No, we barely eked out the 5-star there, but that's okay. Not really too concerned about it. I guess I could switch to, like, Aggression or something and make that a little bit more consistent, but that's fine. Anyway, here's the Haute Claire. It is Lightning's Stagger Lock weapon, if I remember correctly. So that'll sell for a cool 10,000 gil, because I'm never going to use it, so... you know what I could do, though, since I've still got the, whatchamacallit, is I could use Spark Strike instead of Thunder, because I'll get more damage out of it if I use it, since I've got the Auto Bravery for now anyway. We'll get the Saint's Amulet that I want to use for Lightning instead in this dungeon, so... Once we get that, I can switch over, but until then, we might as well use the Auto Bravery that we've got, right? And we're back to linear hallway areas. I know quite a large number of people who don't like this section of the game because they open everything up for you and then you move on and it's like, okay, back to this again. But, I don't know, it's kind of nice in my opinion because it kind of lets you relax a little bit after all of the not relaxing that you've done. Like, you've been out in a big open area, they've given you a whole bunch of, like, stuff that you can just do on your own. So now, just going back on rails, I don't know, it's good and it's bad, right? Because, like, it means that there's less agency with where you can go and what you can do, but you've already got all the secondary development now that you did on the Archaeal Steppe that you can use to make the parties do things that they couldn't do previously. So you're still able to express the agency, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's good and it's bad, in my opinion. Cryohedrons, huh? Well, that takes care of that, I guess. Yeah, they're weak to fire. They're ice bombs, basically. So Snow's not doing a whole lot Ravager-wise against them, but if he's just punching things and hoping I have access to all of the elemental spells, then, well, that, deals with that pretty handily. Alright, this one might take a little more doing just because there's a whole bunch of them, but... I mean, I guess Snow's just going to blitz them, which really helps out. Let's get rid of the cryohedrons first. The hoplites are annoying, but not that annoying. These guys can explode meanwhile, so... might be in our best interest. Yeah, see, that one's primed, so let's hurry up before he starts self-destructing, please. Alright, now we're done. So we can go Spark Strike again. Another reason why I wanted to use Snow in the party is because I never get to see his Blitz animation. I almost always, when I previously used him, I almost always had him in the boss party instead of in the regular party, so I said, no, you know what, let's just put him in the main party. Why not? He's pretty quick at most of the stuff he does. He'll probably be pretty quick with his physicals, and, well, I don't know, let's look at the map. Yeah, it might be. Only one way to find out. Yeah, no, I said, he's pretty quick. Let's see how he does in it. And honestly, yeah, pretty good. No big shock there. He's a pretty solid party member no matter what, but, like, I don't know. This is pretty great. That's that. This little hallway, by the way, is really great for CP. This is probably the place where Marie did the grinding previously, because you'll get a ton of CP from going back and forth down this hallway, so.
I have this feeling something bad's about to happen.
You know, I get the same feeling looking at that wall, if I'm honest with you, Hope. It might be worth going back. There's a Seath Stone behind it, but it's not even active at the moment. Well, let's fight these hoplites first, and then we'll figure out if we're going back or not. Am I going to preemptive them? They don't seem to see me. At least not yet. But yeah, see how these things are a little more steampunky? Like, they're built very specifically for the purpose of moving all of the material that's in here, you know what I mean? They're not built specifically for the aesthetic of being high technology. They're built for a purpose. They're used for getting rid of junk or digging. So that sort of steampunk aesthetic, I feel like, could have made more sense on a save point on Pulse. If you don't have the steampunk aesthetic, it makes it feel like you didn't really think about that part when you went ahead and designed the area, you know? But, I mean, it's fine. It's not a bad thing. It just feels like there was less thought put into it than there could have been, that's all.
No problem.
Man, at the rate we're going with the CP, we'll have Snow to stage 6 very shortly. Alright, but before we go any further here, spoiler alert, that wall is hiding a sub-boss, so I would recommend setting yourself up for that before you go there. So that's what I'm going to do, and that gives us a chance actually to use the boss fighting team, because they're all pretty good for this one, so we're going to do that. How do I want to do this, though? So I want Sin. We want Sab, I think. We want Sin, Sab to start with. So we'll stick that there. Med, Sen, Med. Actually, I might do Sin, Sen, Med, because that way I can get some stuff up. No, you know what I actually want to do here? Is I want to do Sin, Sen, Sin. Because that'll let us take less damage from the attacks from the passive from Sentinel. And it'll let us get some buffs up, because I want Saz to get... what do I want Saz to get? Barfire, Haste, Vigilance, and either Bravery or Faith. Depending on who I'm casting it on, so... We'll get Haste and Barfire up first, and then we'll get Vigilance and either Bravery or Faith, and we'll go from there. Then we want Rav, Sab. We want probably Rav. We want Rav, Rav. And then we want Rav. Actually, I think I might switch this to this and this to this, because Saz is probably the better commando in this case because the next boss is large, and having access to his blitz is probably pretty good. Next boss, if I remember correctly, is also vulnerable to Imperil, so we'll see if we can get that on him as well. So other than that, I think we're good to go. Yeah, we got everything we need. We got the debuffs ready. We could use a Fortisol and an Aegisol here, especially since we just got 2 guaranteed from the stuff that we dismantled, but nah, I don't mind doing the actual fight, so. You don't have to do this right now, by the way. There's a little treasure chest back here and a dormant seath stone, so there's nothing good here, but we'll do it while we're here, because why the hell not, right? Well, that guy looks like a menace. Kind of like the Chapter 4 boss. Let's see how hard he hits. Okay, bar fire. This is why we want bar fire, by the way. So we'll just get that up on everybody. It's a good thing Saz gets bar fire earlier. Makes him much more useful for this fight. And Vanille will get Veil and Vigilance on everybody, so that's good. I'll do Bravery on Saz.
Come on then.
We'll do Bravery on Fang. We'll do Faith on Vanille. And then we'll switch. Ow. Okay, well that was no good. I think he's resistant to fire, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong about that. He's vulnerable to just about every debuff in the... Oh, that was what I was going to do. Hang on, I know what I'm going to do instead. Let's go back here so we can get a little healing. And then we're going to do in Thunder. I should have done this in the first place, but this is fine. Let's do it this way. Get in Thunder on everybody while Vanille keeps us healed. Now, he'll use Steam Clean, just like the boss of of Chapter 4. But that just gives us an excuse to go try Disaster, so to build up his gauge. He'll get rid of it, but then once he gets rid of it, we'll just go back to Rav Sav Sav so we can just get it back on real quick. Because they should be able to reapply it pretty easily, so... Yeah, there we go. Switch back to Triple Ravager, build the gauge. Saboteurs can stabilize the gauge pretty well, so that should be fine for us. Ow. Okay. I'll use Renew. I don't feel like switching to the medics while we've got him pretty close to built at the moment. Takes a little bit to get him staggered because he's got a pretty high amount of chain resistance, but that's okay. We'll just switch back to Assassination and get all the debuffs on him again. Because he should get rid of them before we stagger him. Okay, not quite. Just about where we did, but that's fine. We'll just get them all going. And then, okay, we didn't even need to. Never mind. There we go. Switch here, double blitz, and go to town. With Imperil on him and in Thunder on us, he should take pretty massive amounts of damage from double blitz. And we'll go to Aggression after this to get the extra damage out. Alright, launch him up in the air for me, Fang, real quick. Okay, while he's steam cleaning, he can't be launched. Well, that's okay. We'll still deal pretty massive damage to him, so it doesn't particularly matter. Alright, back to Assassination to reapply all those debuffs. While he's got the massive gauge, we might as well do it. I'll renew again in a second, I think, because Vanille's hurting a little bit. And then we basically just start over. So, let's start over. Yeah, guys, whenever you're... Oh, yeah, right, you can't do anything because we've already got all the stuff on him, so... Well, we're running out of our buffs, but that's okay. We'll have him down shortly anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, he's steam cleaning. That'll give us a chance to stabilize the gauge a little bit, so we can do a little triple Ravagering. Our Thunder, or End Thunder lasts a while, doesn't it? Should have him before he gets rid of every... Okay, he's getting rid of everything and wrecking balling, but that's fine. We'll have him in a second, so it doesn't matter. Vanille, we'll get you up after the fight's over. Switch to refresh. And goodbye. Not quite. What do you got left? Oh, 6407. We've almost got him. Probably need 2 blitzes, though. Okay, that was a little closer than I wanted it to be. If he had come back around with that fire, we would have been dead, but we got him, so that's the important part. Now again, is it worth it to beat him there in order to get a Dormant Seath Stone and a Platinum Bangle from a treasure chest? No, probably not, but it's done now, so can't really take it back. This Seath Stone becomes active after beating the boss of the chapter, though, so if you come back here later by teleporting over to the one that's in the Archaeol's Step, or there's another one that you can teleport to later on in this level, you can just come back here. I don't think he respawns once you kill him, so then you can just come back here pretty easily and go from there. So come, Sen, Rav, Sab, Rav. Okay, there we go. And that's that. So now, if we had gone on the other path, which I'll show you here real quick. If we've gone on the other path, there's a save point pretty close by, so we'll just head directly there and then we'll call it a day. Go for a little bit more length on this episode, I guess, because I'm not right near a save point, but we got rid of that boss, so that's good. He can be a bit of a pain sometimes. I don't usually get him in one stagger here because you're kind of not really meant to fight him at the moment. You don't have to. He's got tons and tons of HP, and he doesn't get you anything as a reward for fighting him at the moment. So usually I just wait to fight him until we come back, but I figured, well, we're already here, so I may as well. Why not, right? Let's just double fire this guy as well. We can get a little bit of a splash on the other ones. As I hope. If you want to do a Firaga, I'd be down for that. Alright, this one's primed, so let's see if we can get rid of him real quick. There we go. Should be just about done. Okay, he's done. I'll just go Spark Strike. I love getting Thundaga for Hope for this area because so much stuff is weak to it, and then he just blasts the field with it. He's got so much magic that it does so much damage. It's nuts. And we can use this hallway to build our TP back up. And we got a bomb core out of that, so that's not bad at all. That is a solid little reward. We're getting chunks and chunks of TP from doing this as well, so hey, I'll take it. If it works, it works. I'm gonna auto chain actually. I don't know that Flame Strike to Fyra is the best, but all we needed was one Flame Strike anyway, so. It's all that Firaga. It's all the level 3 spells that Hope's got blasting on the field now. Again, I think in the Archaeol's Step, it's counterintuitive to get them for him, or not counterintuitive, but counterproductive to get them for him because he might mess up your target times. But in here, when there's so many enemies that are pretty simple to just knock around, it's like, whatever, you know, like just blast the field and there you go. That guy might look a little familiar though because he looks very similar to ye old Ambling Bellows that we fought back in Mission 10. He's a palette swap. A little easier to kill, if I remember correctly. So, we'll just get rid of his hoplites first. I think he can summon more of them, if I remember correctly, but I'm okay with that. That's what he does, you know. Actually, this is probably the place where, yeah, see, he'll use deployment to bring more of them in, so. Let's get rid of this one. Hopefully we'll go right after the... Okay, we're not going right after the Vox Phalanx. Let's go after him first. So we can, like, get rid of him. Let me see if I can get D-Protect on him. D-Shell, maybe. Get everybody to work him over. This is where Snow being the Saboteur actually probably would come in more handy because he can get Pain and Fog on this guy. So that you don't have to deal with version upgrade, which increases the power of the hoplites, and that's a pain, but, well, he's almost dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, but it gets all this stuff on him, which is a little annoying. I guess we can handle it. I mean, I'm okay with it, you know, it's fine. Okay, maybe I'm not okay with it. Yeah, Hope, heal yourself. I'll keep Snow healed up, and then I'll heal you after that. Okay, let's go to Mystic Tower, see if we can... yeah, just do that. Just do that, Hope. That's all we really need. Just blast the whole field. I guess maybe I should go Delta attack, actually, so I can, like, stabilize the gauge. Because we know how this works, so... We've seen this before. Boy, this looks familiar. Probably won't get a 5-star on this, but that's okay. Because I let him deploy this stuff. If you can get a preemptive strike on them, it works pretty well, but... yeah, that's okay. rewards aren't particularly what I'm worried about. Really, the only time I worry about getting 5 stars is when we're doing missions. But you don't even need to worry about it there because it's not like you get a different reward for doing it. I just like looking at the 5 stars on the mission rank, that's all.
A Grand Pulse Fal'Cie made this path.
Really?
Yep. I bet it's off digging more tunnels right now.
It's a hell of a
They
large
seem
loader
different
that he's
from
got.
the Fal'Cie we've seen on Cocoon, you know? It's like they just plow through, without caring what happens around them.
That's true. Then again, we were able to build our village on land cleared by Fal'Cie. We lived alongside them, just like you do on Cocoon.
Yeah, except the ones on Cocoon are trying to harvest us.
Just like Cocoon.
In a world this big, who knows what we'll find?
Thanks for the words of wisdom, Lightning. You're really contributing to the cutscene. But yeah, before this we didn't really have context, but this is the Mahabara Subterra. And we have to follow the tunnels that the Fal'Cie made in order to make our way to the village of Erba on the next episode of Final Fantasy XIII, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the way, there's new merchandise available, so those superconductors I said I needed to buy are now available from Lenora's Garage. So when we get back, we'll probably also upgrade a whole bunch of the stuff that we have for our accessories for our boss party. So we'll work on that once we get back. In any case, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me. Guess I had to get one last one in. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. Yeah, the enemies back there respawned. If it wasn't for the fact that boxed phalanx was there, I'd be tempted to rerun that little gauntlet. I mean, how much CP did we get? Oh, okay. That's not bad at all.